Oh shoot, Wayne did the countdown.
Yeah.
He just see.
Where the countdown at?
It coming.
No, it ain't. It's live. It already say live at the top.
I know.
Yeah, it
Well,
does.
Look at that. It's a good thing ain't nobody up in here yet.
We got a bad. And he
Oh,
take that from under your title. Take that from under your name.
Yeah, take that.
good evening, everyone. This is the one and only DJ Skyrocket come to you live with another exciting episode of The Crew. That's right. We are here. We are back. And as you see, we got everybody back. So, starting with, let's start with the newcomer. He's on my left. I don't know what side he is on y'all. Newcomer. New to the podcast. Joined last week. Became a member last week. Go ahead and introduce yourself and let everybody know what you do.
So I'm James Waymars. I'm the owner of, I'm a master electrician, former electrical instructor at Midlands Tech. Did that for quite a few years. And I now own One Way Electrical. We're a small business electrical contracting company here in Columbia, South Carolina. Just been friends with Clyde and Barrett for a very long time. Back when I was coming out of high school, I met these guys, and great bunch of guys to know, and met Show, and tell you, that's why I'm glad to even be included in this, and I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
All right, now we're gonna go see how smart they are. We're gonna go to the one that's the oldest out of the other two that's left.
That would be me. The Show. I am the oldest. My resume ain't as extensive as Tony's on. That was a lot of stuff he just rolled off there. And all that teaching and everything. Only thing I done teach people how to do is get drunk and fall down. But I teach them the proper way to fall down so that they don't hurt themselves.
A lot of experience in that. A lot of experience.
Lot of experience. I fell asleep. I fell asleep in many a trunks. And haven't had one shut down on me yet in my experience of sleeping in trunks. So, and I burnt up a lot of chicken in my quest to be a master griller.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
But welcome back, everybody. It's been a good week. A lot of things have happened in life, and we're going to discuss a wide variety of topics tonight. Some that you may agree with, some you may not agree with, but that's what we do every week on The Crew. Now I'm headed off to the younger member of the group.
That's what I'm talking about. Y'all know who I am, man. Don't try to act like you don't know. I've probably been in your liquor store, probably your grocery store. I've been there trying to get the cheap bill. So it's your boy Soldier B. That's what goes on right there. We're officially from South Cag, East over where we all from over there, man. Food Line always had the best specials on the beer. So hit your Food Line to get your beer from the Food Line. Get the cases in the back. I'm tell you that right now. Get the cases in the back because they restock regularly. Don't get the ones they pull off the display. Try to pull them up front. Y'all get that hot beer when you get home. Always go to the back, pull everything out, put it on the floor, get the one from the back. And that's just some stuff I want to let y'all know down there in Cackalack. But it's going on right now. I'm over here in the Space Lounge, which is nowhere. We in the sky doing our thing, man. We have a good show, I think. And we thank everybody for being on, man. Let's have a good time, man. Barbershop talk at its best. Let's get it.
Yes.
All
Now
right.
our guest, I thought she had just came in, but she was on there, but she fell off. So maybe as soon as she get back, I will give her proper introduction. Because reading her credentials, she deserves a proper introduction because I had to get some coaching on some of these words that's in her bio about how much knowledge she got. So as soon as she get back on,
Okay, well,
we will.
let me say this then. Let me say this before she get on. She's not on right
All
now.
right.
Let me say this right here. Let's look at the gold medal count. Let's look at the count on the Olympics right now, man. I want to put that out there for everybody. USA, we got
What?
71 total awards, Olympic medals. So we had 71. Closest person on our heels is China, and they got 45. So we're doing our thing. We're doing our thing right now in the Olympics as we get down to these crazy events. Because I want to see breakdancing. I don't know about everybody else. I got to see breakdances. It's in the Olympics, and I got to see it. So I got to check it out because I don't even know how to judge it. But that's what I'm talking about. So you got United States up there with 71 total. You got China 45. You got France in third with 44. And then Great Britain and Australia. But we still winning by a big margin right now on medals, or just the medals totally anyway.
All
Okay,
right.
Tracy, are we experiencing some technical difficulties? Because I see your sister came in but fell off twice.
Well, I was experiencing some technical difficulties, so I'm not exactly sure what's happening
Okay,
Uh-oh.
okay,
because it was
Okay.
saying the link was expired, so I had to log off and log back on. But I can see what's going on. Bear with me.
okay.
Okay.
All right,
Okay.
all
And
right.
then, ladies and
All right,
gentlemen,
Tracy,
new
let's
to the
keep it
podcast,
professional. Let's
we
keep it
got the first.
professional.
We got the first lady on the podcast. First lady, go ahead and tell everybody who you is, first lady, and what you do.
It's on you. Okay, you on there now? So unmute yourself and say what you got to say. It's on you.
I can
Unmute.
unmute. You unmute.
There you go. Toya.
My name is hi, this is Toya. I'm just come to listen and just kind of hear the facts.
Yeah, the facts. That's what I'm talking about. It's facts. It's all facts.
I I
It's
love
All
you
all
to
facts.
death.
factual.
I love you to
It's
death.
all
You
facts.
ain't never. She ain't never just listen. I love her to
Ah,
death, but she ain't never just
It's
listen.
all facts.
I
I
ain't
didn't
never.
say I didn't say I was not going to challenge your facts, nor did I say I was going to agree with your facts.
But
But
what if
you
you don't
said you
have
were
Disagree.
gonna.
facts? What if we just have ideas?
I might challenge that too.
Okay, but that's fair enough. All right, fair, fair enough.
Yeah,
Fair enough. Fair enough.
well,
yeah.
well.
Fair
Hey,
enough.
hey,
Fair. Hey,
you can't.
but let me ask you something there, Rocket, since we're right here, man. Matter of fact,
See, now we can't tell our fishing stories.
you can't tell the fishing stories, right?
All right, what we got? What we got?
But
What we got for me?
hold on. Show, let me ask you a question there, brother. Let me ask you
All
a
right, go
question.
ahead.
All right,
I am listening.
I just want to ask this right here. I mean, what's going on? Because I can't ask Rocket about this right here, man. What's up on the holdout contracts that's going on with CD Lamb for them Cowboys right now? And then what's up with
Hey,
Love
hey,
getting that
hey, hey,
contract
hey,
for
hey,
the
hey. See,
for the
see,
most expensive quarterback in the league who ain't really done much? I mean, he was
see,
all right, but hold on.
see.
No,
I
no,
mean,
let's
okay, okay, that's old
You
school,
working on
Potter.
trying to get muted again.
no, you can't. I
That's
can
a
unmute myself, man. I'm an administrator.
What
that's
we
a
at? We not gonna sit here and talk about Dallas, but CD
I'm just
Lamb is
saying
at
what they
training
got.
camp.
What's going on? What's going on with the whole situation? We got a lot going on. With the NFL coming up like right now. You know
I'm
what I mean?
gonna tell you what happened.
Oh snap!
He's there at camp. He just ain't dressed out, but he is wrestling on the sideline with Parsons right now. They're wrestling each other. They having their WWE auditions. So and he's being physical. He's just not doing it in pads. But he
Yeah,
is being physical.
all right. There go I believe there go our guest,
Yeah, that's
Skyrocket. If
her.
you bring her in. All right,
All right.
now let me read this off because she is very knowledgeable. She is a program manager at Calvin's Institute of Christian Worship, serving as a team member in Vital Worship, Vital Preaching Grants, and Ministry Leadership Cohort Program. Leads formative learning events and manages consultations sponsored by the Institute. She has a professional background in accounting, financing, nonprofit management, ministry experience, and teaching worship leadership. She received her degree in accounting from Florida A&M University in Tallahassee, Florida, and has a master's of art degree in Christian education and Bible studies from the Dallas Theological Seminary. I want to get that word right because earlier when I was practicing, I said cemetery.
Oh,
Jesus.
buddy. Buddy.
All right,
Well,
ladies and gentlemen, Miss Trina Reed.
How are you, Mr.
Hey,
can
Trina?
Trina,
you
how
all
are
hear
you?
me?
We can.
Yes,
Yes, we
Yes.
can hear you.
I'm all
Looking loud
right.
and
You know, for some
we
people, the
can't,
seminary and the cemetery are the same thing.
It's
but we
almost, it
can't
feels like
see
it
you.
hand in hand sometimes, huh? Especially
We can hear
lately.
you, but we can't see you.
Sometimes
Are you going to bring your
I
lovely
know
self?
I'm in the car and
Oh, okay. Okay.
oh,
Okay. Okay. Well, today the
yeah,
topic
I'm
is
not
church,
ready.
the business within the church, correct?
no, the day's topic is the business of church.
Of church. Of church. And that's why we
Oh,
have Mr. Trino. As you heard in her bio, she is a grant writer, a prolific. See, that's that SAT word. She's a prolific grant writer, from what I was told. And we'll talk about I need a grant written for me,
So that means
but
you
we'll
gonna
talk
get
about
your
that
bread,
later.
huh? You
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
get
yeah. We
your
need to talk about that
bread.
later. We got to talk about that later.
And
Um,
as Miss Katrina will tell you, yeah, you get a grant. Being from the college system, a grant don't mean free money. Grant mean you could go to jail.
that's
now
right.
I know
That's
I
right.
did.
That's right. I
Clyde,
worked on
you
that
better
all
not mess with a
college.
grant.
Now I know I did a little bit of studying up for this one, and I went on Google. You know, Google know everything, and Google told me there are
Mm.
over 900 different grants that an individual or a business can get. But with churches getting grants, it's some guidelines they have to follow, correct?
Yes,
Okay.
what you're getting. And I need to
So,
make this disclaimer before we start
okay.
talking that I am
Okay.
representing Satrina Reed and not the organizations that I work for. So this is me, the individual on the
Okay.
podcast.
Okay, cool.
And
Thank you for that.
we're not gonna ask you about nothing you've done for any individual organization and we are not talking about no church in particular. So
In
we're just
particular.
trying to put our
Right.
knowledge
I just need to say
and
that.
yeah, and we're just trying to put our knowledge and facts of stuff that so people will know and they can look it up on their own and take their own steps because you're not gonna
Oh
say
yeah.
nobody from this podcast caused you to go to jail, skyrocket.
All right. Well,
Hey,
can I ask a question though, Mr. Trina? Can I ask a question real quick? So what?
Yes,
So
yes.
as far as the grant funding, I mean, which since we own that subject right now, what is it? What is? How does that work? And what type of grant funding is for what? So, can you explain
Okay,
that?
so for what I do, the grants that we do is for churches who are looking to it's particularly a worship grant. So those people who are looking to enhance worship in their churches. So it depends on your church. So for some people, they might say we're trying to figure out how to get young people involved in the church. And we want to study that for a year. So they'll pull together a team of people in their church that will work on a project for a year um, and a plan to get young people involved. And that might look like, I don't know, it might look like getting them involved in more Bible study or enhancing their youth curriculum and things like that. And our funds would go to take care of, well, really, it just depends on what the church or the organization is looking for. Because it's not just churches; it's wherever worship is taking place. Um, and so, what it may look like is that the grant funds would provide say for them to bring in a speaker or for the youth to go to a conference, for them to be able to buy supplies and things like that, to in order to enhance that aspect of their church.
Okay, well, let me ask you another question.
Mhm.
What are the requirements for? Because, like you say, you're trying to bring the youth in, because I know the youth has not been a part of the church for a long time. They kind of,
Mhm.
go in different directions. So you all want to bring the youth back, the youth back to the church, try to, uh, um, give it that, that feel, that old school feel, where you had your grandparents and you had your mom, and then you had, your their
Three
kids.
generations.
So
Yeah, three
y'all trying to
generations at
bring back that generational thing in church. So
Well, it just
what are the
depends on the.
requirements? What are the requirements for for anybody? It's not like anybody can just come with a startup and say, well, I'm getting ready to open up the New Hope, faith, center church. You know what I mean? So what are the requirements, for this grant to actually happen for those who are, interested in this? What would they need to have?
Okay. First, let me say that that was an example. The grants that we do, that was just an example of one thing that a church could do, or a worshiping community could do. There, I mean, it just depends on what your church needs. Some people are looking at how to enhance music. Other people are looking at how do we get people more interested in communion, those kinds of things. So it just depends. But the requirements are that you would apply for a grant through our application process. You would have to figure out like how in the long run, after the end of that grant period, is this going to impact the worship of the church that's taking place on a Sunday morning. And so you have to apply and provide a budget. You have to come up with a budget for things. You'd have to be a nonprofit organization. We don't, can't give them to individuals. You have to work with a team of people. So it wouldn't be just one person in the church saying, I'm going to do this. It's all about trying to get people, not just the people, the person who's applying for the grant, but other people involved. Because, some people can have an idea. You can have an idea, but if you don't have anybody willing to work with you on that idea, then you're not going to get too much done in a
So
church.
what do
It's
you
just.
all provide? What do you all provide for that? I mean, how successful are you all in this endeavor? How successful are you all with it?
We've been around for 25 years, and we've granted over 1,000 grants
Oh wow.
Wow.
for churches throughout the United States and Canada, all denominations. It's not just black churches. Why it's everybody. It's any church, and I say churches, but it's when we say worshiping communities, we mean anywhere worship is taking place. So it might be a nursing
it
home.
could be a ministry or something like that too, right?
So that again.
It can be like a ministry. It don't have to be a church. It can be like a
Right.
ministry or a
So it's like it
youth
can be a
thing, whatever.
nonprofit.
Yeah.
Nonprofits doing ministry. So like there have been like nonprofits who are doing prison ministry, and they're helping. So they were helping. It was a women's prison. They were helping women to work through their trauma, and so songwriters went in and helped them to write songs as a part of their worship, to get through their trauma. Other churches were dealing with unhoused people, and building up a curriculum. So if you're homeless, the way you come to Christ and the way you worship is going to be different, because you might be dealing with addiction. A lot of people are dealing with addiction. A lot of people are dealing with literacy issues and things like that. So they would, it just depends on what your context is.
Okay,
So
well,
I
let me
have
ask
a
you a
question.
question.
A wide range.
Does this affect? Do you think that this? I mean, just from your 25 years of experience, does this affect more? Um, I'm just going to well, black, low income, or does this affect more of us than it does any other churches or denominations or affiliates that you
It's
work with?
all
Is it worse?
denominations.
Is there a Is there a barometer that you use? Is it worse in the black community? Is it better in the white community? Is it better for an Episcopal? Is it, you know what I'm saying? Better for a Catholic
No,
or
I mean it's not necessarily better or worse. It's you get the money, you work your plan, and in terms of like numbers, of course, um sometimes we have quite a few um black churches
Mhm.
that get grants.
So who
So
applies
it's not
more?
like,
Again, what
huh?
demographic is the one? What demographic applies more for these grants? Like what demographic?
It's mostly um mid-size. The majority is mid-size, predominantly white churches. Um, and it's just because they know more about it. Because they know more about the organization that I work for. But as we get out there, part of what my role is, or what I see my personal calling is, this is my personal calling, is that I try to talk to as many of us as I can, because a lot of times it's just that you don't know. And if you don't know, you can't apply.
Right.
And so that's my biggest thing. So I try to put myself in places where I can tell people about, what's not available. Now that doesn't mean you're gonna get the grant, but you'll have a better chance at getting a grant if you know about it than if you don't.
That's true.
So
That's true. You never apply, you won't even get it. So
So I
right,
got I got a I got a
and
question. Do like, cause we're more in a technology age now, and like you say with the youth and getting the youth back, cause what I see is a lot of small rural churches are dying off because their membership is older. The youth are not coming to it. The youth are moving. Like small towns, like small
mhm,
town churches are dying off.
right.
Do they give grants to modernize churches, like more modern technology? Because like during, especially with COVID now, because COVID put us into a virtual church era, and do they give grants to where you can modernize your church and go set up, get your equipment to go virtual, to have virtual church and kind of bring the youth back in that way?
There are a lot of churches that are in that same position. But because the funds that um, the grants that we give is from a grant that we have to limit the amount of equipment to 10% of the total grant amount. So it's limited, but that doesn't mean that they can't work to enhance the virtual worship, because there have been plenty of churches that have done that. And so it just looks like, say, if you get a $25,000 grant, then that just means that the amount that you can spend on equipment is $2,500.
Oh,
Um,
okay, okay.
yeah, so that's what that is. And so, but that doesn't mean that you can't have people to come in and to with assist with that. Because what I found is, like, a lot of those churches, and this is me talking, a lot of those churches that were struggling and are struggling with the live stream and the technology, that was where you needed your youth. Um, they don't, that's where you need your youth, because youth know how to do stuff. Because they were born within the technological age. They were born with phones in their hands and screens in their hands, so they know how to do those things. And so there was a group, there was a church, and it was a black church, where they had younger people. They were doing a live stream and all that. They had young people going into the older people's houses, setting up their equipment and helping them to learn how to get online to watch the worship services. And so that was a way for younger people and older people to connect And it was a way to get the young people doing something in the church that they knew that they could do. And it wasn't like, no, we don't want to do that. But some of what I saw was, it's like a lot of these churches, a lot of churches that we saw were so resistant to, number one, technology, and then number two, new things that young people would bring into the church. That then when COVID happened, well, the very thing that you needed, you already ran out of the church. You needed young people to help you with
Mm,
that technology. You needed young people
that's
in
right.
that church to run for you too, to go to the grocery store, to do all those kinds of things. You needed those young people, and the young people needed the older people too. But
Okay, well,
that.
let me ask you a question. I don't mean to cut you out. Let me ask you a question then. Since you brought it up, let me ask the question. So, do you think that since COVID, um, the church foundation, I mean, like we all from a church foundation, so
Mhm.
the church, you think that the church foundation kind of, it kind of played second fiddle, kind of fell off, and then people started to, find other messages through whether it's social media or through whatever. But do you think like the that at home church, you go to that church and that's the church you go to, you sung on the choir, you at that church. So do you think that COVID was kind of one of those determining factors that kind of pushed people away from that, especially the youth
Um,
in particular?
Well, go ahead.
Go ahead. Is there another
I would
question?
say COVID pushed a lot of people away from the church. Period. You
I
know
wasn't
when the
asking you, Rocket.
Yeah, we weren't.
hey,
We
I
weren't.
wasn't.
We
I
Really
asking.
mean,
was not.
We asking an
I
hey,
did not
expert.
hey,
ask
We asking an
you.
but let
You're
me,
expert.
I'm
asking
just
let
saying.
me,
somebody who's doing this every day.
That's what I'm
but
saying.
Right.
I
she's
did not
coming from
ask
the
you what
business
you
side.
He's a
come
I
from,
can
man.
professional at
tell
this.
you from the
I'm trying to
experience side.
come from a
Listen,
professional standpoint, man.
Yeah.
okay, well, go ahead
Now,
and answer,
hey, lean
Mr.
back, like
Tina,
Fat Joe. Lean back.
and then listen,
Lean
listen.
back, man.
I don't let her answer, and then I'll give you
I don't want to hear it. I want to
We
mine.
hear
don't
the
want to hear
Go
your
ahead,
man.
answer.
go
We
ahead,
didn't want to hear
go
your
ahead,
answer.
go
I
ahead.
would like I would like to
Hey, you
hear
know what?
her
I'm gonna mute
perspective.
all y'all except for
Her
her.
perspective is the most important perspective right
Now,
now.
all y'all working on getting muted.
Yeah.
We
Y'all
can
are
unmute.
funny.
This
Okay,
is how it is in the barbershop.
that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. I love it. No, but what I saw. So the question was basically, did COVID? Do I think that COVID kind of pushed people away from the church? That's the basic question? Uh-oh, I can't hear y'all. Y'all are muted for real.
I done muted them.
Well, let me answer this question then while everybody's muted.
Go
I
ahead.
think that I think it was a lot of, it was yes and no. I think a lot of people who never would step foot in a church had access to church from their home. And then people who stayed in church figured out that I don't just have to, like I'm talking about during COVID, I don't just have to log into my church, but I can go to church anywhere in the world.
Oh yeah.
I can go online and I can go to church in Chicago, or I can go online and I don't necessarily have to be at my church's service. Or I might. And then I might jump on somebody else's service that I like better. And then people just got used to not going anywhere.
Mhm.
Some people got used to. I remember because I'm a worship director at my church, and so when we first started doing live stream, and I think one time we did it. We did a Zoom. We did a Zoom. One time we did communion over Zoom because our church it's not a small church. So we did a Zoom message, and I saw a woman. She was in her robe, and the kids were in their pajamas. The husband was in the pajamas, and they walked out, and she brought them a paper plate with bacon and eggs on it, and set it on their lap. They had church with bacon and eggs and their robes and everything, and we were watching them. And we watched them eat their breakfast while
But hold
we were
on,
eating.
they had
Church
that
they come as you are.
they had that great mad dog for communion. They did their own communion dog. They that
Right.
old
Hey, come
communion
as you
might
are.
consist of some things.
Hey, put that down.
I got
Put
used
that
to
down.
it
Put
too.
that down.
That
Getting
might
up, having on
Back in
clothes.
the day, we used to call it church hopping.
Yeah.
You used to go from church to church. But
Well,
now you ain't even got to worry about going into the building. You can just click on, and I
that's
can have
right.
5 different services running at the same time.
hey,
That's
but
right.
Rocket, I'll tell you something
Yo,
though. I'm gonna tell you something though. Bulow had a bad choir, bro. We was bad. And we used to love
we was
going
one
to
of the
them.
best choirs in Hawkins.
We used to love going to Friendship because Friendship was like one of the rivals. We had like you know what I'm saying, like some court, stuff, man. So we had one of the baddest choirs out there. So we loved, honestly, then our youth choir was like the bangingest youth choir. And then when we combined it for the mass choir, it just elevated everything. We were able to witness a lot of that, from then to now, you know what I'm saying? Because we were
The worst,
20,
the worst thing they
18
did.
to or 15 to whatever. And now we at this age
Okay.
now, it's like everybody that moved on
Okay.
with their lives, but we still remember
Okay.
those days though. Like,
So, question I want to ask now, both Miss Satrina and Soldier B, y'all can answer in whatever or y'all want to ask. What can you do? Because that passion you just felt, that love you just felt, and you remember that from being there. What can you do to get young people in this generation involved like that and have a passion like that to come back? Even like, because
You,
you were saying like y'all was battling with the youth choirs.
yeah,
Tony got
I,
something to
Tony,
I
say.
would,
go ahead, Tony.
one of the things that I've heard that drives young people away from the church is, and you guys already know, the older members are berating the young people and always talking about the young people are doing bad at this and bad at that. They're never uplifting them. And that really, if I'm a young person, I'm sitting in that church and all I hear is you're constantly badgering young people are not doing this correct, not doing
Mm-hmm.
the young people you see on the news and read in the papers. What about this young person that's coming to church? Why you can't uplift me?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I hear, and that's why a lot, because the older members, and she said it, you have to transition with the time. You can't,
Right.
a lot of the problems with, you say, why are rural churches dying off and going away? Honestly, y'all, they really not. Young churches in rural areas, and I travel a lot of rural areas
Mm-hmm.
throughout South Carolina, is the
Mm-hmm.
information what she say. When you don't know, you can't prosper. You
Yeah.
can't you can't survive. You can't change because they do not have the information. They do not have the technology. They barely have the people. Most of
That's
the time
right.
when I go in rural churches and I'm doing work for them, it's because their central purpose is they are helping their community, but it's
Yeah.
mostly, yeah, they're helping their community, food, clothing,
Mm-hmm.
sharing. That's what the churches in the rural areas are doing. But again, they still don't know what she does. They don't know her
You
organization.
Yeah.
what you
Right.
got.
Okay.
It starts from the top to the bottom in churches. If you don't have a pastor that is willing to open up the church to the youth is not going to come
But
because
you again,
the
you have
pastor
to,
and
even if you get them
listen,
in there,
now,
Uh,
you
now,
have got to
Well,
now,
the
stop.
issues,
what
the
can I
issues
say
with
something?
yes.
okay, go
Oh,
ahead.
Please do,
go
please
ahead,
do,
first lady. Go ahead, first lady.
So
please do.
so it doesn't just start with the pastor, it starts with the members, the body. Yeah, you have a pastor, but it's the body. So you can't just lay blame on one individual because it's the entire body that
All right.
welcomes the children. That's the entire body. You got a youth minister, different avenues in the church. Now, you also have to be willing to serve and welcome the children in this present age. You can't use old tools
Mm-mm.
to attract in
Exactly.
this present age.
Mm.
So we
Exactly.
sometimes we get so stuck in what we did then and think that's going to work now.
Yeah.
But you got to
Well,
have new things that's going to attract. Just like Soldier B, I heard your passion about how you all were about. And back then, that was something that attracted you all. Y'all got the music going different places, doing different things. But what's going to work for this generation?
yeah, and it's hard. I found myself, I recognize as I'm getting older, I recognize how that spirit can develop because now as I listen to stuff, I don't like nothing.
Oh
It's
yeah.
like I don't like nothing.
Oh,
I don't like,
a lot of the
but
old music ain't the same. It don't feel the same. It don't hit the same.
right, but that's me. And so my thing is I'm constantly asking God, help me to see, help me to learn, because we can learn from anybody. Help me to not to discourage these young people and help me to what can I learn from them? How
Okay,
can at
okay,
this age, how can I be a mentor to them and listen to what they're doing and give them the strength and the kind of the foundation or the principle under the principles of say godly living or the principles um of how to function in a church without telling them that they've got to do it my way.
okay. Can I
um
ask a question? Can I ask a
yeah.
question?
No,
All
no,
right.
no, 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 no. Hold on. I need you to give your opinion because after you give your opinion, because and I understood what Tony said, and Tony got me now because I'm gonna ask the questions here. Y'all can ask questions too, but these questions I want to get up because to tell you the truth, all y'all, Tony, Skyrocket, Miss Trina, my wife, even Tracy Muted, and you, Soldier B, y'all know more about church than I know because I always had a motto in my life: church don't bother me, I don't bother it. What I'm saying? Toya got me back in church now. So really, this is a learning thing for me because I'm soaking in all this information y'all giving out because y'all went to church as youth. I went to church as youth, but I would sit at the first pew in the back, having the time I fall asleep. So answer, what you want, and then I got a follow up for what Tony said, and then me and Miss Trina had talked about this the other day.
Well,
You know,
honestly, I'm gonna leave it alone. You ask your questions because that's more important than what I got
okay,
to say. So,
okay.
Well, we
My
just
thing
lost
about
Miss Sabrina.
okay,
We
she
we
might
just
come back in.
lost her. She'll
Okay,
be
but I
back.
can ask y'all because like what Tony said, do y'all think one of the reasons the older people don't want to turn it over is it that they feel it's daytime because they came up in the church as kids they sell. So now they feel it's daytime until they die, like their parents and grandparents did. Do you think they
It,
not willing to turn it over to the youth because they feel this is my time to govern over this church the way my father did, the way my mother did, the way
absolutely.
my grandparents did, so it's my time
And
now,
that's right.
but they
And exactly
sticking
what
in that
Katrina said,
old
you
way.
stuck in the
Yeah, they stuck in
and
that
like she
old
said,
way
you're
because they
that's
don't
right.
realize
It's
it's
a cycle.
killing the church.
yeah.
So, if I can answer, this is just how I feel because I think from like I mean I think I'm kind of level headed when it comes to a lot of this stuff because I haven't been as active in the church at all since especially since I was a kid. I was more active then than now, but I feel knowledge itself for me right now. I feel that I'm more comfortable with me finding out other avenues. And I'm not saying anything other than what the church teaches, but there are things that I'm learning right now that the church would not discuss in certain lessons. There are churches that won't discuss certain things that a lot of youth have found to be something new. And they're like, well, wow, why don't we discuss that? Because the old school church was so used to talking about it
It's
was
forbidden.
repetitious. It became repetitious to a lot of the youth. And the youth actually got this technology. We didn't have that technology when I was singing on the choir and we was out there battling of the bands and the battling of the choirs. We didn't have that then. But what we have now is we have a knowledge base that's right at our fingertips, which they are great at using, and they find out things and they question those things. And a lot of the old school people cannot provide those answers. So I think the church needs to look into try to provide answers for those questions. That means they have to come up to date. They have to come in and try to figure out well what are the youth talking about now, in order to come back, because the church is not the church anymore. The youth are thinking that they're seeing that the body is the church. They're actually saying, well, if I'm a good person, if I can be a good person and I can maintain be a good person, I'm fair, I'm honest, and I'm true, then they could be closer to, you know what I'm saying, to being in the pews every day. You know what I mean? So they can still work the jobs, they can still have everything but be honest, be fair, be true. So they're finding out a lot more about themselves now with the available knowledge they have that a lot of the old school people don't want to let go of. Just like we said, they don't want to let go of the tradition. But sometimes tradition has to leave in order for the new, you know, to actually come in. So
Well,
church
you
might
got to
not
bring
be
in
the
new
same
traditions,
in the
new
next
people, and new traditions.
yeah. So the church might not be the same in the next, you know, 3, 4, 5 years. We don't know, but we know that we know that there's not a lot of, you know, the youth aren't as involved, but the youth still come home. They still have fun fellowship with their family members. You know, it's like, you know, you train up a child in the way that he will go, and it was when he's older he will not depart from it. So it's kind of like that same verse, meaning like you got that traditional value back then, but now you still, you know what I'm saying, you on another path, but you're not far from where you were. So,
Right.
you know, so that's where we
Well,
are, you know, with the youth.
Let me ask you
and
this,
that's
because Soldier B, you brought up a question that kind of resonated with me, because you're talking about and you got a generation gap here.
Yeah.
When we were going to church, we were going with grandmama, mama. You
Mhm.
in church, you church pop, different things like that. Then we became the generation that said, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're not going church. We may or may not go to church. We gonna
Mhm.
go because we got tired of it. So now we're raising a generation that we may not even just take to church on a regular basis. So they're not even farther removed from going to church because we got so overwhelmed or over church that we're dealing with a generation that just
I gotta
said,
feel you.
I'm not doing that.
I
I'm
definitely,
not.
I,
I
And
definitely feel you on that. I definitely
I
feel
would
you on
also interject. I would also
that.
interject is
Definitely feel
that
you
the
on that.
discipline in the home is a lot different than where all of us came up.
absolutely,
But
See,
you
absolutely.
we
said it
didn't have
yourself,
a
Tony.
see, we
Time
didn't have a
change things
choice.
too.
We didn't have a choice. We had to learn
Right.
who the Lord was. We didn't
Right.
have a choice. It
But that's
wasn't
not
waking
saying,
up
that's
on
not saying the
Sunday.
youth today. That's not saying
Yeah,
the youth today that know who the Lord is. But
yeah.
because that's what I'm saying. I mean, like I said, as much as long as we keep advances, as long as we keep learning things that were hidden. I mean, we don't teach every single verse in the Bible. And you've got 6 or 7 different renditions of the Bible that are just prominent in several different, you know, different denominations. So now we've got that separation of all this knowledge.
But you're not. But our foundation is solid. Our
Our
foundation. Why
foundation,
is my foundation solid? My foundation is
I
solid
believe my
because
family,
grandma,
I
because
believe my foundation was,
grandma and mama made me go to church.
well, yeah, absolutely,
You know, and made
absolutely.
and then you know, and now they didn't baptize me when I was that age. It took me when I was 16, 17 years old. I found a church where we studied and
Hmm.
I bought into it and I went and I got baptized on my own, by my own decision. I got baptized, not because somebody told me to,
Oh
but
well,
it all started is that I had that foundation. And let's just let's just be honest. It's not happening now.
well, but like
It's not happening now.
like I'm saying though, because that Tony, we from a traditional era. You know what I'm saying? We from that
Yeah, we
traditional
like you say,
era
we didn't have
where
this.
we didn't have that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we didn't have that.
There's a lot of information out there. There's a lot of, you know, factual just as much as there's, you know, not factual information out there that people are, you know, people can really now choose and pick where they want to go, which direction they want to go to. But I mean, honestly, any individual, I don't care who they are, regardless of whether they know the Bible or anything else, they know right from wrong from the start. When you turn 2 or 3 and you learn no is no, you know what I mean? So it's not like right and wrong is far from people. You choose to do that complete wrong, or you choose. It's not. negligence of right and wrong is not even in the DNA that we were given from the Most High. That's in the DNA. That's in the pattern. You know you can't kill this person because even if you didn't know that killing was wrong, the law was never written, you knew that it was wrong. We saw that. We've seen that time and time again throughout history, throughout the Bible. So I'm saying that right now, a lot of the children right now are on a path, and if they're even looking, some of them don't even care. So the ones who are looking, they're on a path and trying to understand the path that they're on, try to bring them back into a traditional system. It's not going to work. So, like
So
you
how do
said,
you
we have to try to meet them on common ground. And that common ground is where we have to go ahead and pull ourselves out of the mud from tradition and try to find that common ground. And maybe we can find somewhere that we can meet right there in the middle. And then the few that do and some that do, maybe we'll find out, what's going on, because we cannot keep the
Um,
same old school that we
Well,
have now.
Sister Katrina, I have a question
yes,
from you based
yes.
on what the fellas here are saying. Um, do you think that because I love everything that they're all saying, but do you think the makeup of the church is not evolved or made up of enough individuals that have that passion, like these young men on this podcast, that open mindedness, that they can bring in those ideas, those fresh ideas to the church as it is today? Because
I
there is tradition there. But what about these free thinkers that we have on this podcast that have these ideas and open to bring in and kind of be open to bring in new ideas for the youth?
Yeah, I think it depends on the church because I think there are plenty of churches that are out there doing it. And there are a lot of young folks there. When I say young, I mean there are a lot of younger leaders who are out there now who are doing just that. Younger pastors that are doing just that. I think that number one, I believe that faith starts. Yes, it starts in the church, but it also has a home base. And so somebody was mentioning like what was taught to, to them by their mothers and their grandmothers. And sometimes it was just example of, hearing somebody pray and hearing people singing and as they were just doing their daily duties in the house or whatever. But in terms of new ideas, I don't necessarily think tradition is bad. It depends on what tradition you're holding on to. If it's biblical tradition, then we need that. If it's something that you made up because your great granddaddy said, something that we always do this on the second Sunday and all this kind of stuff, and it can't be changed, and that was man-made stuff, then yeah, we can get rid of all of that because times are changing and people are changing. I do believe that our young people are struggling, but some of our young people are struggling because they don't have the guidance and the foundations that would typically come from home. And then Toya,
That
you were talking about new
oh,
ideas coming, passion and new ideas coming into the church. It depends on the church and it depends on what people are willing to accept. And it depends on how people view the church. Some people view the church as if it's theirs. It's not no pastor's church, it's not the people's church, it's God's church. And every person within that church is a member, is a part of that body, and every person is has been given a gift. Every person has something that they can offer within that body, and I don't care whether they're 2 years old or whether they're 92 102 years old. Everybody within that church has something to offer. Now, do we listen to everybody? No, we don't. And I think that with young people, a lot of young people are just waiting to, sometimes they just want people to listen to them. And so I've got an acquaintance. She has an organization called the Jude 3 Project, and she interviews young people all over the country, and just all she starts with is just listening to people. And the name of her this session that she did with young people was Why I Don't Go. Why I don't go to church. That was called Why I Don't Go. And she sat there and she would just listen to people talk about why they don't go to church. Young people about why they don't go to church. because this generation, they don't, it's not about what you're saying. They're looking at how you walking. You saying one thing in the
And doing
church
nothing.
and doing something else that is completely opposite in at home, in the street, how you're treating people. I mean, we take for granted that young people and children, um I think sometimes when we were growing up, it was like you were supposed to be seen and not heard.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But
Yep.
Yeah,
I
Right.
think
elders
the
be
children
seen and not heard.
they can see when you're saying one thing and living another. They can see when you're praising God with your mouth, and then before you on the way home to church, you talking about folk. Children, small children see that, and then as they grow up, they don't want anything. They want something that's real.
Yes.
Some next, yeah, you're right. You're
And they
totally right.
gravitate towards like we said, they've got a lot of information available to them right now, and a lot of the
But
information might not be the best information, just like a lot
But
of
some
the.
of it is.
Oh
Some
no,
of it
no, yeah,
is.
oh yeah,
Some of
absolutely,
they don't have to
absolutely,
go. You don't have to go into a church now to get a good
absolutely,
Bible study. You can go online
absolutely,
and get a really good Bible study. So
absolutely.
we assume and we make assumptions that
but
they're not interacting with any spiritual things. But a
Right,
lot of young people are out there getting it someplace else
right.
because
listen,
the
That's
church is giving them what
That's
they need.
100% true. So I'm like, and I understand what you do with the grants and all that. And
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 that's
my
not
thing
all
is,
I do. That's not all I do.
and I didn't mean to say it like that. If I didn't mean,
No, 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 no. I'm
I
not
didn't mean to,
offended. I'm just
I
saying
didn't mean to say it like
that's
that.
majority of what I do. I'm
But,
not. I'm
I
not
mean, just
easily.
for the sake, just for the sake of what we all kind of talking about right there, like I was saying, kind of trying to, find out where they are, where they are, where the youth is 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 pretty important, um, to try to meet them on that common ground because they're subject to so much information now. Because we had a cutoff on our information. What Mama said, what
Right.
Grandma said. So it's like turning off a faucet. This is what you get. It's all you got. Get out of here. This is grown folk conversation. But now,
Mhm.
so now we're trying to find a way to mingle in between and try to combine what the youth have right now on that level and try to meet them somewhere in the middle to find out where they are, because spirituality is one of the things that make us who we are. And if you have none at all, then you're 100% lost, of course. So all that's being on the attack. They're under attack more than we were just because of what's around them right now.
Oh yeah.
So there will be more confused. There will continuously be more confused, and we will be hard pressed. It's going to be. It takes a lot of us. It's going to take a lot for us to try to find out what we can and how we can meet them on common ground and try to bring them back to some type of um, reasonable self spirituality, because I
I
believe that's
see
a
it.
lot.
Right. And
You
can I
know,
say this real quick? And
absolutely.
also, the church has to come to a place to where you can no longer. The time is out where you can no longer say you can't question. You shouldn't question God. You can't question anything in the Bible. You can't question a sermon. There needs to be room for young people, old people, anybody to be
Right.
able to ask questions.
That's right.
And and there needs to be people in that church that are humble enough to say, you know what? I don't know, but let me go see if I can find an answer or somebody that can help us to figure that out.
Absolutely.
And I
Absolutely.
think that
Yeah,
we're lacking that. We're lacking a lot of that because we think we're supposed to know everything. And I'll be quite honest. Youth will come and they will ask hard questions. Children will ask hard questions, and we got to learn how to say, you know what, baby, I don't know, but let's
That's
go
right.
see if we can find an answer together.
That's right.
yeah,
That's right.
you're right. You're totally right. You're totally right. But
So,
um,
okay, great.
what I was gonna say is, the question was asked, how can we get um the youth back to the church? And we got to meet. And what I wanted to say is, you got to do like, okay, before COVID, and I'm talking about my church, because before COVID, we used to do things with our youth. We used to take them to ball game, to sporting event. We used to do stuff like that. And that brought the kids back to the church. Now, in order to get something, the old saying was, in order to get something, you got to give something, right? Yep, y'all agree with that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You
We
can't
we
pay
So
them to be. You can't pay them to cover
no, no,
churches.
no, no. We're not paying them. We're taking them places. We're taking them places. Like have well in our area, you know where our church is located. Half of the people, half of the youth down there ain't never been out of Hopkins East over Gaston. They
Mhm.
never been no way. So by us doing that and
Mhm.
taking them places, that oh, that's a good church. We like they take us places, they show us stuff we ain't never experienced, and I will bring them to the church
Yep.
because the Bible say a child should lead them. And if you get that child and that child go back and tell their mama or their daddy about what's going on at that church, that's going to bring that parent too. Because that parent going to want and see, and they want to experience what their child is experiencing.
Well, when we talk about the business of churches, is the church still in business of serving the community? So if they have a community presence that young people actually see, and
Not all churches. Not
but
all
see,
churches. They say
not
they
all
That's
for the
church,
community.
but that,
Not not
but that isn't that isn't that one of the purposes of the church is to serve the community?
it's
That
supposed to be.
it yeah.
It's
Well,
supposed to be
why have they gotten away from that? What
Well,
because
have
there's
you
a
self
seen?
got
witness.
in.
What'd you
Because
say?
self have came in,
Mm.
and I'm just gonna be honest. Because self have came in. When
What
self come
came in?
in, self SELF. When
Yeah.
self come in, sometimes people go away from church because self have came in or prestige have came in. Let's call a spade a spade. I'm not gonna say the name of the church. There's a bunch of them around here, but you know
Well,
some of them.
well, Skyrocket, I wouldn't say it's just self, because I also think what has happened is that the community is all people. And honestly, let's just be honest. You don't know how we as individuals, sometimes we don't know how to handle or deal with all people. We a lot of times gravitate to people that are like us, like-minded people, or just in different things. How do you relate to all people in your community? Do you gravitate to bring in the special needs community? Are you working to bring in the special needs community, not just the youth that are not special needs? How are you ministering and bringing in those that are special needs?
And I'm glad you said that, Toy, because we had an autism Sunday. We had it right before COVID, and we invited a lot of the. You know, I work with autism. I work with autism kids, and
Autistic.
autistic, but but I work with autism kids.
Okay.
I work
All right.
Kids
my
with autism.
exactly. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
autism kid.
Jesus, boy.
So
We
doing,
understand.
doing yeah,
We know what
doing
you're
my
talking about.
We know what
hold
you're
on,
talking
I'm gonna mute you because I'm talking show and you interrupting me. Hush. Now listen. Uh, um, doing my work, I have ran across other people that do the same thing that I do, and I talked to them. Matter of fact, I can say her name, Debo. I talked to Debo, and I was like, okay, so we're looking at having an autism Sunday or a special needs Sunday at the church. What you think? She said, hey, that'll be good. Let me reach out to some of my people and we'll we'll get them there. And they came and we did the autism Sunday um with the biker Sunday. Because we did the biker blessing and everything at the church that day. And it was a big crowd there. And the kids got to talk to the police. They got to see bikes and stuff. And it was something that we did to reach out to those kids that are special needs. Because like you said, it's not a lot of people that's reach out to those kids. You
Right,
know,
but
back
then
when
how do you service them? How do you service them and continue to service them outside of that one day?
Thank you.
That's the thing. I think there's an awareness that's needed. and and a lot of times there through some of the work that I've done, a lot of times people will look at people with different needs and special needs. Pretty soon, it's going to be more than just it's more than just autism and things like that. It's not until somebody breaks a hip and then all of a sudden, they need a walker or they need something else, and then you got a special need too. And so just to start to think about, like, how are we viewing everybody in the church, and the fact that you might have a person who is on the autism spectrum, and that's a soul in the church. How do we disciple that person? How do we see that person? That person is made in the image of God, like the like anybody else in the church. And so
Mm-hmm.
what is the discipleship plan for that person who's a part of our church? How do we include them? How do we educate ourselves about who is in our church? And there are people who are doing some of that work now, through that are educating churches, and our churches is it's a little different, because I know a sister who was trying to educate our churches, and just couldn't get that momentum going. But now there's some other churches you can get, that we take field trips to because, and that's where everybody goes, because there's so many other services, and not just even services, but just how the people are treated in that church.
Yeah.
I guess another question is too. I mean, is there salvation outside of the church?
Yes.
Say that again.
Is there salvation outside of the church? You know what I
I
mean?
was just out for me, as from the Christian view, salvation is in Jesus.
Right on.
And
That's
so
right.
salvation comes
Right.
through
Not
Jesus
in it.
Christ, and
That's right.
Jesus built his church. I think we are
That's right.
confused as to what the church is, and that's why we got off
Right.
track.
That's
Right.
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 So,
That's
so
right.
And I think
and
that's a
so
wedge. That's a wedge
That's
between
right.
it. I think that there's a big wedge between that. What church is, what church should be, what church means to the person that goes there. You know what I mean? Whether it's rooted in tradition or rooted in, I mean, some people come off the street and find that church is for them. You know what I mean? So everybody has their own thing, but the big thing is that there is salvation outside the church. There is salvation there, and then people will find their way. Even though the roads narrow, people will find their way. And a lot of that technology that a lot of people have right now, they kind of give them several different avenues, and they can pick and choose which way. Because you can find it, it's like going through a maze at this point. You go through a maze because there's so much information everywhere. You go through a maze and you might hit the dead end right here. You turn around and go back, and you're trying to find your way out of there, even though that path is small. I believe that a lot of people are probably in that maze right now, or anybody that's seeking. And that's the thing, anybody that's actually looking to find some type of salvation outside of the traditional church, I believe that they're entitled to be able to do that, and they should continue that path. But they should always know that the structure of church is still there to actually try to help them out on that path if they should, if they need it. So,
oh
but
yeah, oh,
that's
God will find them. If you're seeking, God, because that's the thing. I think so many people are. We need to understand that, like, the church doesn't. I mean, the people don't save God. God saves. And God can reach anybody, anywhere, at any time, at the lowest low, at the highest high. God can reach a person. And so if that person is seeking, and I believe that God will bring alongside people, for the person that's seeking, God will bring somebody to walk with them. And it may look like it's in the church, in the traditional church, and it may not be in the traditional church. But
right on.
but God's will is that we would we would be the body of Christ. I know of people, you know, throughout the world. I know of people who go back into their countries that are not from here, and because Christianity is illegal, they go into underground spaces to worship. We don't have that problem. So for them, it might look like this person got one piece of the Bible, somebody else got another piece of the Bible, and they're underground hoping they don't get caught and arrested and go to jail because they're worshiping Jesus. We
Mhm.
don't
Yeah.
have that problem. I know people who have that problem. So I know that God can reach anybody anywhere. And I think we're too limited in the United States and in how we've been taught about the church. The church is an important it's what God gave us. The church is our hope. The church is the body. It's the body. It's not a building. The church is the body. And
The
so
body,
we're
individual
limited.
body is the church.
Huh?
Go ahead.
I think
I'm
we're
listening.
our mindset because we're so set on what we see here in the United States.
Mhm.
But if we like delve into the scriptures, we'll see that nobody was there weren't like just individuals out there trying to do this by themselves. It's always about being in community with other people. And so I think that whether they're young people need to be in community. Um, old people need to be in community.
Mhm.
People with disabilities need to be in community with other people. And that's, I mean, I think
And the
if
church
we could
needs to
get
serve
that,
those
we'd
communities.
be so much better. Huh?
The church needs to serve those communities.
Right. When I say community, I mean, yeah, church needs to
Yeah.
serve community. I mean, when I say community, I mean we need to be with one another. And
Yeah,
yes, and the church is supposed to reach out.
that's right.
It's supposed to reach out. I'm not negating that at all. That's that, yeah. But the scriptures say that the people who are outside of the church would know that we are Christians by the way we love one another. And so we got a problem with loving one another in the church. And so how are we going to reach out when we're not loving one another enough to even get it together to reach out to people who are outside?
Mhm.
Right
Because we're
on.
being
True.
maybe because we're
Okay.
being small minded.
Small
Now let me ask,
minded, small, yeah.
Yeah.
let me ask you a question, Miss Katrina, to dial it back. Um, we was talking about church and getting grants. Are
Mhm.
you are you able to do freelance work, or are you restricted with just doing grant work for the company you work for?
Right now, I just do work through my through the institute that I work for.
Okay.
So we are a funder. I don't necessarily write grants.
Uh huh.
We fund people who apply for our grants. Does that
Okay.
make sense?
Oh, so
Yeah.
y'all are actually a sponsorship. Y'all sponsor
Yeah,
grant.
we have funds that we then grant to churches
Okay. Nice. All right.
Okay.
and worshiping. Well, we say worshiping communities because I want to say that because it's like like I said, it could be a nursing home, it could be sometimes it's a school that's got a chapel program, those kinds of things. So,
And
Woo, that sounds like a lot
and
of
can you
reading.
give out that information, or you prefer not to?
yeah, I can give it. It's now look before I say this. Now it's not free money.
Grants aren't free money.
Yeah, it is not free money. It does require
Skyrocket.
accountability. So it
Skyrocket.
would mean that we would have to submit a well written grant, a grant that's then reviewed by several people that doesn't include me. Well, I do a cursory review, but we have a whole nother board that reviews and approves those grants, and then you're responsible to, the churches are responsible to report back and to be accountable to those who've given money. Now, I will say this: sometimes folks can I don't want to. I'm not gonna blast our people.
Yeah,
But
you already said
We
you done said
already
it. Go ahead.
yeah,
We
know how
This is
Skyrocket, go
barbershop
right.
talk. We
we know
go
how we
Skyrocket,
ahead.
go
feel.
write it. So
you know,
Skyrocket, she
it's like
said
one of the most
don't write
embarrassing
it in
things.
pencil.
It's one of the no, it's one of the most embarrassing things is for somebody to get a grant and we give you money, and then when it's time to report back,
nothing.
we don't hear anything from you. We don't know what you did with that money. We can't find you, and you see what I'm saying. And
And
it's
that happens
hard.
a lot. That
Oh,
happens a
we,
lot.
But
I know.
it's hard
we can
to say.
disappear. We can disappear now. We
Yeah.
On the federal level, you not.
But no. It's you can go to shoot worship.calvin.edu. Worship.calvin.edu.
Somebody
And
type it in the comments for the
let me
people
see.
that's come on
Ain't you
later
the
on.
hoe? Ain't you the
Yeah.
hoe?
Now I'm gonna be
Hey,
I'm gonna say this. Only serious people need to apply because we are overwhelmed right now.
is that it right
It's
there?
worship. And worship
At edu.
no dot Calvin dot
Or is it
Worship.calvin.
at edu?
At edu.
worship dot no yeah wait that's the website worship.calvin.edu.
.edu. Okay, cool. I
Not the
thought that
not
was.
the email address, but the worship. That's the
I
it's a
I just
hit
wanted to get
grant.
that information.
Yeah,
I just
yeah,
wanted to get
yeah. But
that
I'm
information
just
out before
saying,
we forget.
I'm gonna tell you what we do not fund because I get can I look, these are the calls that I've received. Can I put a down payment on a church? No, sir. You can never
wow.
put a down payment on a church. Um can I use it to buy a new refrigerator for our kitchen? No, we cannot buy a refrigerator for the church kitchen.
Can we get a plus with AC? Can we get
No,
a plus with
nothing like
AC?
that. It is a worship
You can't
grant.
get
You
a
got
plus
to
with
be able to
AC.
study. Yeah,
So
you're studying
we
your church.
can't get new baptism robes because them ones I got baptized in was snug.
Well, it depends.
Can we get
Oh,
If you're
choir
studying
robes? Because
baptism,
the
if you're
old choir
studying
robes
baptism,
are all moldy and Can
yeah,
we get
come on.
choir robes?
I got one better.
Mm-mm-mm.
Can we get a grant to get gas for the church van to go
No,
everywhere?
we tired of running out of gas, going getting everybody to chip in on gas to go to the
Hey,
revival
we
in
Hey,
Calvin
hey,
County.
can we
shit.
get it? Can we get
We,
a grant for new Bibles because they falling apart in the pews?
well,
Can we get an
look, you ain't
That
got a
updated?
Bible in
that's
you.
part of
Can we get
worship though.
updated hymnals?
Bibles in the phone.
Yeah, that's part of the Bibles is part of worship. Now I need them
That's
Bibles.
true. That's true. So what
but
I'm
you got the
saying is,
Gideons. The
Can
Gideons
we
will
get the
donate.
newest
The
gospel songs
Gideons,
and the
the
updated
Gideons.
hymnals?
Y'all listen. The Gideons and Austin Woods will donate Bibles to your church. It just gonna have
they
their stamp
will.
on it.
Can we
They
get new
will.
kitchen staff because they macaroni is terrible? You know what
Well,
I'm saying?
Yeah. So,
Mr. Trina,
I'm just saying, be serious. Like
but no, Mr.
read,
Trina, you need to.
read. It's
But
not like for the week. Is that grant
yeah,
application
we
is
know.
not for the week. You have to do
But
some
you need to
work.
put out a list. You need to put out a list of stuff we can't use the money for.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
she'll be right
That's
there
what I
letting you
said.
know.
That's what I'm saying.
Can we get a
You
new
can't
choir
you
director because his
First
daughter
thing you
always
gotta do is
singing?
go record your music, and so you can go sell it. Can't do that.
Yeah. See that what I'm saying? I need a
We want to go to the conference, and it's gonna cost. We got to we got to buy first class
Oh man.
and stay
so
Oh.
at the Ritz. We can't do
so
Oh.
that.
so the
You know.
grant can't pay for the choir director daughter to go to the studio and make her demo.
No.
I'm tired of
Oh,
her
okay. All right.
always singing. You know,
Okay. The minute well no
Oh,
they
get her some get her some
they
I
vocal
am just saying.
lessons.
I just don't want to get a whole bunch of stuff.
Oh, you finna get. See, you dealing with us. You finna get a whole bunch of
Can
ghetto requests
What?
now.
can
You
we
finna
get
get some.
You remember
can
what
we
I
get
said earlier? I
can we
said I
get
ain't
new tennis
going to
shoes for the
China.
children's choir? Because they do a lot of walking.
Don't put your
So,
number on there
so
because
Miss
you'll get a
Katrina,
lot of phone calls.
so tell us some of the tell us a few of the ridiculous things you've seen.
I'm trying to think. Uh, shoot, so much stuff.
That refrigerator one was ridiculous to me.
That was
Oh
good
yeah, yeah, that was.
If y'all ain't got enough money to chip together and get a refrigerator, you need a grant for a refrigerator. Come on now, come on now.
Yeah. So
Hold
I'm
on,
just
hold
gonna.
on. I think we should be able to get a grant to get fishing licenses for all the elderly that go to the church picnic every year.
But
See, see,
this
No,
what
I
because
need my
no,
job.
'cause you might try to baptize them.
They just want a fishing license for that.
But I'm trying to figure out what kind of refrigerator they wanted. Did they want a smart refrigerator with the computer and the screen? Because a refrigerator only can cost you. You can get a couple $100 and get old nice used
Oh,
refrigerator.
not
Now,
Oh,
church
rebuild.
refrigerator.
You know, rebuild for about $200. Oh, rebuild.
yeah.
Oh,
So, but
rebuild.
what you needed a grant to get a refrigerator? Come on now. What kind of refrigerator you trying to buy?
It was going to go into the new kitchen they were gonna build.
Hmm.
But no, 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 no. But no, it's seriously though. It is a good resource for people who are serious about it. Because I work at a university, so it is. We do have an academic component to what we're talking about. So we want people who are seriously studying things, and and I'm not saying that you can't that somebody can't walk somebody through who's not familiar with the grant process, that we don't have. Like I've been on the phone with people, sat down with people and say, to say, this is what the grant is for. Tell me what you want to do, those kinds of things, and to help to interpret some of the application for people. Like, tell me what it is that you're trying to do, and then you can get into a space to where you can say, well, this is how this will apply to worship or might impact worship in your church. So it's not to say that we wouldn't hear people, but I'm just saying, if people are just out there saying, you know what, I need some money, yeah, no, 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 no. You're gonna have to work for this. It's a year-long project, and it's serious. The application is a serious process. So, but yeah, it's a good resource, and a lot. We have a fair amount of Black churches that
So you
apply.
saying I need to be able to read in order to
Yeah,
fill
you
out this
gotta be able to
application?
read.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things that you have to have, just like if you can't have, and I've found this right here, and I'm going to tell y'all, one of the reasons why I think sometimes my business struggle is because I don't have a well enough plan. My wife is on my butt about that a lot. Lord, she's so over organized. But like Ms. Katrina said, if you don't come with that grant, if you don't come to them with a plan, you need not apply.
Right, and the application will help you to develop a plan.
What's
Yeah.
up,
But
Pat? What's going on?
and most of the time,
I'm
the
sorry, yeah.
application will help you. The questions will help you to develop a plan.
Yeah.
Um, but and a grant is not for every church. You can't, if your church is dying, a grant, it will not
Not
help
me.
you to
That's
keep those
Unless
jobs.
y'all sponsor a bowling team. All right.
No, no.
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Pat, what's up, cuz, man? I see you in here, man. I had to send the shots out.
So we want to thank guys. Let's thank Miss Katrina.
Hey,
Satrina.
Satrina.
Katrina.
Satrina.
hold on. Hey,
And thank you
if you
all
got a
for having me on. I don't know how much help I was, but
No,
thank you
no,
for
you
you
having
were
were
me on.
very
very
awesome. Yeah.
you was awesome. You were very knowledgeable. You, like I said, and then I want to say one more thing before we let you. I am
hold on,
one of the reasons,
here we
because
go.
I'm going back to what Tony said. I am one of the reasons that, and I thought about it because what Tony said. Tony said we were forced. We were forced to go to church. it wasn't no question of was we going. We knew when your mama came around there and knocked on that door, you was getting up, you was going. Once I got old enough to make my decision, because I was forced, I took the force as a problem, and I never carried it over to my kids
That's right.
to
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
So I am part, truly, I look at myself as part of the problem because I never, the force that my mother gave me, I should have kept it going
Yeah.
because it wouldn't have said that would have made, because there's kids that went to church and they still turned out and did bad things, but I didn't give them that option because I didn't want to do what my mama done to me. But
Yeah.
you got to look at it like this here, and I've heard parents say this: I'm not raising my kids the way my mother raised me, but I tell a lot of them when I hear them say that, look how good you turned out.
Exactly. Exactly.
So what our parents did to us, and we was like, oh, they forced us, we had it hard, we had it this and that, but you turned out all right. You beat
Turned
the
out all right.
odds.
Yeah.
Yeah, you beat the odds.
That's
And
right.
what we did, we turned around and we wanted to be our kids' friend more than we wanted to be their parent.
Mm-hmm.
So, Miss Trina, thank you for coming out, talking to four knuckleheads, and giving us some insight and knowledge on the business of church.
And this is a tribute right here to you. Thank you very much. Let's put it in there. Let's go with it. Yeah, y'all know. Y'all see my screen? Y'all better put it in
Yeah,
the
I see
screen.
your screen. I see your screen. God try to tell you something.
Oh
Yeah.
Lord.
Oh, let's go. Let's go.
See,
When she come
see,
home.
it ain't playing right. It ain't
What's
playing
wrong
right.
with your internet in Houston, man?
Yeah, see that I'm talking about.
My
That's
internet
that
speed.
Texas.
I'm on fiber. It's
That's that.
pretty good.
That's that. No, it ain't good.
It ain't
That's
working.
that Texas internet.
Y'all
That
can see
Texas
it.
internet is awful.
All
No, it
right.
ain't playing.
Hey, your
All we
internet
doing,
is
see,
like y'all power.
yeah, yeah,
All right. Let me stop
yeah,
sharing because
yeah.
I
Y'all
my
remember?
video
No, it's
doing
like
too bad.
no, Tony.
Uh,
Couple weeks ago when the sun went down, their Wi-Fi went bad. Their Wi-Fi run off solar power.
uh,
But
is
thank
there a
you.
grant for that?
Hold on. Wait. Hold on.
See,
What y'all
Yeah.
say? I missed
see
What?
something.
what
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 you?
I
Mr.
missed?
Oh,
Ponderosa.
okay,
What the hell I
Toya
missed
was
just
about to
now?
say something. Toya,
No,
No,
y'all.
one of
What?
want to
Toya.
thank you guys for actually hosting this and having this because I saw you all had several viewers, people in and out. So don't think it was taken lightly because I definitely think you made some impressions there that you may have some more follow up to this too because it was a real conversation. It was candid, it was true, and I mean, and it goes back to what my husband Jason said, that foundation. I think Tony said you got to have that foundation. You're gonna choose the path you're gonna go on. But if you teach a child, they'll go the right
That's right.
way. But you got to have that foundation. Without the foundation, what your house made of without a foundation?
It made of sticks and twigs.
Hmm.
It ain't made on nothing solid.
Nothing say it's sure to fall
Man,
apart. So
I
I
made a two
appreciate you
by
guys
four.
for I appreciate you
Go
guys for
ahead, Tony.
doing
I'm sorry.
that. I know Miss Katrina, she had to drop off if she's already dropped off, but definitely, I really enjoyed tonight. Thank
Hey,
you
but
guys so much.
honestly though, honestly, Toya, hopefully, we didn't, hit her with, anything crazy. We tried to ask the questions that, that kind of were relevant and whatnot. So, we want to remain respectful and all that right now. So we do appreciate her for being on, and I'm glad that you invited her. So if she was insulted anyway, if she took any offense to anything that any one of us was saying, we apologize, but I thought we
Oh,
kind of.
she good. She good. She
You know,
good. She cut up too.
oh, oh, okay. So Tracy got it. She all right. Well, that's what I'm talking about, man. That's what's up.
So
Rocket, do your
thank y'all.
thing, man, and
Do your thing, Rocket.
shoot, I can finally
Well,
drink my beer.
um, I'm not going to apologize for
It's
nothing.
hard to get a Bud Light in the
Now,
Sky Lounge, man.
now,
It's hard
now,
to get a Bud Light in the Sky
I didn't say
Lounge, man.
I didn't say anything wrong. I ain't apologizing. But
Yeah,
since she come back on, I don't apologize for all y'all. But listen, if this is what it takes for y'all three clowns to act right, we need a female on here. Well, we need to get a female on here every week. Cause y'all was good, y'all behaved good. Show looking all studious with his Florida State shirt on. I just don't know what all that about. And we're not gonna talk about that.
That boy,
you should have told us.
He ain't gonna stop.
You
He
should
gonna have that
you
Florida
should have
State
told
though.
us.
He just come back from Florida, so you know he gonna
You
have
should
that
have told
Florida.
us we was wearing
He probably
polo
just
shirts,
got that.
and we would
That's
have been
probably
all
brand
in polo
new.
shirts.
No, this my
You
old one.
didn't tell us.
I'm
We was wearing
I'm
polo
saving.
shirts today.
I know you
Hey,
got a
I'm
new
saving.
one. I know you
I
bought a
saved my
few.
new one. I'm saving my new one for Vegas.
for
I'm saving
Vegas?
my new one for Vegas. For Vegas.
Now listen.
Yeah.
Listen, before we go, real quick, we need to
Hold up.
hit on.
Cook,
We need
I'm
to hit
a
on.
killer with the shoe game.
We need
in
to hit on our
Vegas.
bread and butter.
You got that
We
dog?
need to hit on our bread and butter.
Well, these them Penny Hardaways. Them
What
Penny
size
Hardaways.
it is, dog? What
My
size it
side.
is?
My side. My side.
Listen,
Trying to get them. You know what I'm saying? What, man? What?
What, man? What you got to say? What you got to say? Snorting and
we
grunting.
need to talk.
What you got?
We ain't talking about.
Okay.
We got to talk about. We got to talk
All
about
the
that.
ladies. Okay, the
We gotta
ladies
talk-
gone
we
now.
gotta talk
The
about-
ladies
Yeah.
gone now. If they still
Yeah,
watching,
we
if
gotta-
they still watching,
So
they can get
listen,
offended. But they
Listen,
gone for
we
it.
got to talk about. We got to talk about Nolan. We got to talk about Nolan. We got to talk about Nolan going for the double in the 100 and 200 in the Olympics. We got to talk about Sha'Carri Richardson finishing second in her race in the finals of the 100, where everybody had her picked as the number.
They were running in the rain. They was running in the rain.
That
They were
girl,
running in
I
the
ain't saying,
rain.
man. Y'all can't take nothing away from that girl. Y'all
I
can't
ain't
take
taking
nothing
nothing
from that
from
girl, man.
We ain't taking nothing
I
away
ain't
from
taking
That
nothing
girl-
from them. I'm mad.
That girl
I'm
can
mad
run
about
though.
it.
That girl
I'm
can
mad
run.
about it
That's
because
all
they
that
made her
is.
run in the rain. They
That
should have
girl
ran in the
run.
dry.
And no, she was the fastest out of the blocks the whole time. If you can't catch her
That's
after the
slow.
blocks, Sha'Carri had that track you down speed, but she
That
didn't have
high
that Usain
that high
Bolt
boost.
speed. So when that
But
girl
no,
jumped
hey,
out the
even
blocks, it was over.
even
It was
hey,
over, man.
come on now. Hey, you ever know? Look here. If it wasn't raining, she would have run her down. But look
Nope.
at it. Sometimes you slip in the rain, cut. You slip in the rain.
I won't give her.
Slip
I
in the
won't give
rain,
her.
cut.
Not
My
the
tire.
time she ran.
I ain't had enough rubber on my tire. My
I
tire
can't
slipped, man.
give her that.
My
She
tire slipped,
better
man.
go
What
get off
did the
there. She
Patriots
better get
go?
some Michelin's. She better go get Michelin's on the bottom of them
Hey,
She
trees.
had
hey,
the
hey.
Pirellis.
And as-
She had the
and as we
Pirellis.
know-
She had the
And as we
Pirellis.
know, in Alabama, when it rains and you in the field, your one tire just keeps spinning,
Spinning,
and the other trying to
the other just
Hey,
sit there and do
hey,
nothing. That's
I
what
ain't giving
happened,
that
man.
job,
She
man.
ain't had no positive traction. She ain't had
Hey,
no
hey,
positive traction.
that island girl came out there and whooped her. That's all that was, man. She had the mission.
No, man.
She had the
No,
good
man.
years of the missions, and she
Hey,
came out the
hey,
blocks.
Hey,
Hey,
I'm
yo,
gonna do
dog,
like
you saw the
Scorpio. I'm gonna
discrimination
do
on
like
that girl's
Scorpio.
face.
Hey, we come back tomorrow when it's dry, and then we'll race.
We
We
do
ain't
it
racing
again.
in no rain. We ain't racing in no rain. We come back tomorrow when it's dry. Why we out here running in the rain? My tire.
But did y'all see? Did y'all see the mix? The mix 400?
Oh yeah, I saw the mix
Yeah.
How they
400.
broke
Yeah,
that world? How they broke the world?
they
record?
broke the
Man,
world record.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I saw that.
that wasn't the finals. That was in
That was
the
a prelim.
in
That was a
prelim.
prelim.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they
Yeah.
broke the world record. You got to
But
give
they
them
did
that.
that.
gotta
That was,
give them
that was a
that.
good race, though. That was a hell of a race.
I'm waiting on
Hell
the
of a race.
finals.
I
I
ain't
think
gonna
the
lie.
finals. I think the finals is tonight.
Tonight
Okay,
is
I'm trying to figure out.
tonight is tomorrow for them because they 7 hours ahead.
Yeah, I know.
Well, they 8 hours. Well, they 6 hours ahead of y'all. They 7 hours. Is that right? Yeah, they're like 7 hours ahead, something like that.
I'm trying to figure out how breakdance. How break.
No, that's gonna be coming on tomorrow, I think, man. I
how-
want to see how you switch.
Breakdancing is 8 is 16. 16 females, 16 males. And remember, Barrett, I read you the rules the other day. So
I don't
it's like
fucking remember them.
it's like a bracket style. So they're gonna line them up in a bracket, and it'd be like me against you show.
Is it gonna be like you got? Is you gonna be like you got served? They're gonna say,
Yeah,
you got served.
professional way.
Yes. It's gonna be like you got served.
Is it gonna be like you got served? I mean,
Yes,
what?
yes,
I
yes.
mean,
But instead of groups, it's gonna be a B boy and a B girl at
they're
the
gonna have
end.
who? Okay, if they're gonna have like Megan Thee Stallion out there playing the Lil Kim part, you know what I'm saying? Drop it like a hot. Ain't no rules. Get
Nah,
nasty, all that.
Megan too busy on the campaign with Harris. So
Oh, okay.
yeah.
She's on the campaign of Harris.
Yeah.
Hold up, man. That gonna be our time. You put some respect on our new president name, man.
Shit.
Ain't
nobody voting for that heifer.
Boy, look here. Boy, she gonna get a lot of votes in Georgia. Cause boy, look here. Your boy messed up last night. They love Brian Kemp down here. They love Brian Kemp down here in Georgia, bro. And he talked junk about Brian Kemp's wife. And that woman ain't had nothing to do with this stuff, bro.
Bro.
I was just looking at.
I don't, like I said, on either side. I'm not on either damn side, but I know this right here. I know I see incompetence when I see incompetence on a certain side. They didn't even have a true Democratic. They didn't even have a true Democratic fucking nominee. They just fucking appoint, like, you know what? Take.
And you don't think Donald Trump is incompetent?
No. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is they didn't even really have an election for her. They just kind of like handed her
but my thing
election
is,
plate. Here you go. Take this with you.
I've heard that before.
Take this with you. You got it. You good. You good.
No.
I would rather, if I was gonna go with it, I would rather JFK. If I was gonna vote, I would vote for JFK. I would vote for JFK. Now, come on. Now, is that not reasonable? Can I not have a reasonable opinion on that? I would vote for JFK. I think that JFK is more reasonable than Kamala Harris.
She still had to get the delegates.
But y'all,
no, she didn't get no delegates. She got handed
she got
the thing.
No, she just got the number.
They could have not. They could have not.
I would vote for JFK.
They could have not endorsed her.
Hey, why is it? Why? Y'all tell me this. Y'all tell me this. Why is it that JFK cannot be a delegate? Why can't he not go up there?
Because he's a third party.
A third party where?
He's still a third party.
What do you mean a third party? He's a congressman.
He's
independent. No,
he's independent.
It doesn't matter. He's running on a Democratic ticket.
You got to be a
Democrat.
Democrat.
You cannot.
No, he's running on a Democratic ticket.
No, he's not a Democrat.
No, he's not a Democrat.
So y'all mean to tell me that there's nobody else, a Democratic Party, that y'all would rather run against Kamala Harris?
Yes.
And have the option to be able to debate Kamala Harris. Y'all tell me there's nobody else in the Democratic Party.
Yes.
Not one person in the Democratic Party. You think that she is suitable? The best.
You're right.
You think that she
is
suitable?
But let me tell you.
So nobody else on the Democratic Party.
Let me tell you this,
not one person.
I am not a fan of hers, but I am tired of the Trump. The mega thing, the mega movement.
I'm tired of all.
No, hold on. Let me finish. What I'm saying.
All of it.
I need for him to lose so these Republicans can gain some sense and get back to governing the country.
Tony, you parroting to me. You parroting right now to me, sir. You parroting to me.
I understand
this is just parrot talk. This is parrot talk that everybody's pushing from both sides.
Hey, on the Democratic side, everybody's
parroting. We both sides of hijack. Like I already said,
they are both sides of hijack. But I'd rather put up with.
And honestly, you know what? Man. I think the last person. Who was the last person I talked to? Last person I talked to, I don't know who it was. They said, well, did you vote or do you vote? And I said, no. And the last person told me, they said, you know what? Well, you don't have a say in the conversation. And I said, you know what? You 100% right. And ever since then, I left it alone. So I don't, you know what I'm saying? I got to leave this alone. I can't go there. No more. I gotta leave.
Look here.
I got
one.
I got to leave.
I got all questions. Before you leave, I got one question.
No, I
one
got to
question for
leave.
all three of
I
y'all.
got to leave that
Okay.
alone.
Well, no, I'm going back to that, but I got one question. Do you like Vaseline?
No.
You don't like Vaseline.
In the
Republicans going
wintertime. I mean, what are
no
you talking about?
because Republicans, at least the Democrats, gonna put Vaseline on before they fuck you. Republicans,
No.
Republicans is not gonna put no Vaseline on.
But they might
They
give
gonna
you.
they gonna no, they gonna tell you they're gonna put Vaseline on.
But they might give
You
you
know,
a reach
I
around.
really and truthfully,
But they might give you a reach
I
around.
really and
So
truthfully
if
would
they,
rather go
But
you know
back.
what I'm
the
saying,
reach
they might
around,
give you a
but
reach around. So
but
you
the
know what I'm
reach
saying.
around after you done fuck with no
That's the
Vaseline, the
same
reach
thing
around
now.
don't matter.
So
But
the
The reach
what
Democrats
around
they
don't
gonna
matter.
Vaseline me up, but the Republicans give me a reach around. Which one do I
what
better?
impacts
You
you?
know what I'm
What
saying?
impacts you more?
But you
What
done lied
impacts
to
you
me
more?
and told me you done lied to me and told me you gonna use Vaseline, and then you
I
don't.
didn't. I never said anything about Vaseline. I'm just saying if they go.
Hey,
I'm just
but what
saying.
impacts you more? What impacts you more? Does the federal government impact you more day to day, or does your local state government
Your
impact
local
you?
state, your local state.
I'm
So
a, I'm
I
a,
would go back to it. I would like a system where we concentrate more about who we send in our state
But
offices and
but
let
see
them
Tony,
pick the president.
now.
I don't.
but
The
Tony,
president.
Now
Tony,
I'm with you,
Tony.
Tony.
You know
The
why
Now
this
I'm
is
on a
president
important,
level
doesn't
with you.
matter.
Tony.
Now I'm on a
Tony, you know
level
What
with you.
matters
Tony.
is who impact
I'm
is
on a level with
locally
you right
here.
there.
You call me a
I'm
This
bitch?
on a
what
level with you.
impacts me day to day.
Huh?
I'm
The
on a level
federal
with you.
government is
But
not
Well,
directly
let's
doing
look at it. Let's
shit
look at
but
it this
no,
way.
but
Let's
Tony,
look at
but
it this
Tony,
way.
but
Like
Tony, Tony.
what states are
They the
thriving
federal
really
government,
like what
the
states are
federal government
thriving?
is what the
This will
local
tell you
cats
what their
hide
local
behind.
governments are really doing something for 'em.
Anytime you go talk, anytime you talk to your local politician, he always blames it on a federal thing.
But that's
They
what I'm
hide.
saying. We need to
That's what
put the
they do.
pressure
But see,
on.
that's the thing about it. They too busy pointing us up to the federal stuff
Pauline.
and telling us it's a federal stuff. Hey, Miss Pauline. Hey, Miss
Oh,
Pauline. Hey, look at we got to stop all this talk
Buck
right
Knight,
now.
how you doing?
Look here, Miss
Hold
Bucknight.
on, wait.
You remember that time me and Rod came to pick up Skyrocket, and you asked us where y'all going now.
Oh, you can't. You got she muted. She muted.
Oh,
Hold on, let me
she
see if I can
Oh,
unmute.
he got you muted.
Let me see if I can unmute. Oh, I can't unmute.
You can't because he's the
Yeah, he the HNIC.
yeah,
You gotta
yeah,
unmute it.
Did we not try to tell him to take that off?
yeah.
Y'all, if we have guests on,
Paulie, you
if
got to
guests
unmute.
on
You
here,
got to unmute it.
please
You gotta
don't
hit the
mind
microphone.
doing
Go
that, man.
to the microphone in front of you. Go to the microphone and hit the button. Click on the microphone right in front of you.
Cause she met
Just
me at
click
the
on the
mailbox.
microphone.
She was at her mailbox when we pulled
Look,
up.
he come in here with a bowl of cereal.
Bowl of cereal.
A bowl of cereal.
Bowl of
Looking
cereal.
like big, looking
Oh,
like
lemonade.
Kelly.
Watermelon.
Oh,
Just like a
watermelon.
black man.
See, that's Democrat stuff.
No, that
Chicken
Republican
and
stuff.
watermelon. Oh, that's Republican.
That's Republican.
All
That's
I-
Republican
all I
stuff that break
What?
it up. Look here.
Hey,
Ask Miss
I
Pauline.
got the watermelon.
Skyrocket.
Yo,
Skyrocket. Hush.
What
Hush.
Miss
Hush.
oh, y'all got
Hush.
she got the family
We want
reunion
to talk
shirt on.
to.
What that
We wanted to talk.
That the
We wanted
family
to talk to
reunion
Miss
shirt y'all just
Pauline.
come on?
We want to
Yeah.
talk to Miss Pauline.
Look at that.
You remember
what you
when
talking about?
You remember when I came to pick up Skyrocket, and me and Rod and you was at your mailbox when we pull up. You said, "Where y'all N-words going
Where
now?"
y'all niggas going? She'll cut you out somewhere.
Your mama just out there.
Yes, she
Your
did.
mama,
Thanks,
your
Rod.
mama say
And-
that. Your mama done
and
called
look
all
at
us that.
And,
My
and
mama
look
don't
at
use them kind of
She
words.
call you that
And
more than
then-
anybody. She called
and look
you
at
that all
Skyrocket.
the time.
Skyrocket, and she gave
I
us a
just be
look.
wanting something to eat.
Hey,
I'm like,
she gave us a look, and you better not say nothing back about what I said.
Paulie be cooking. I just, man, I'm going over here. Paulie be cooking. Y'all got chicken too? I'm over there. I used to go over there eat so good. and there Skyrocket be like, man, I don't want that. I don't want that. Shoot, I take some of that chicken dog.
Hold up, Bad. Now it was another spot we used to go eat good. Did she run you off after you got your plate? Because
Where
you remember Ballard used to
oh
run us off
Valerie.
after we got our
Oh
plate.
man, man,
Yeah.
man. But you know what though, man? Because Valerie
Okay.
had a birthday party when I was down there. Um,
Oh, okay.
so she had a birthday party, man. She cooked up, but she cooked up. Of course, she
Yeah.
cooked up.
Oh
So
yeah, you know she always cooked
yeah,
up, but then
but
she
she
was
had been
after
in the
we done.
hospital. But she was in the
Yeah,
hospital for like 4 days before that. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
her
because she
health
was in
was
the
real
hospital.
bad.
She was in the
You know.
Yeah, she was in the hospital
Oh,
when my mama funeral was. That's why she didn't make it to
yeah,
the funeral.
yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
Yeah,
look,
she was. Yeah,
But she cooked up
look,
on that one. What?
Didi was on the grill.
Yeah,
yeah. Didi had posted that live. I saw that.
yeah. Dee Dee did her
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, yeah. I went
Hmm.
over there ate good,
Okay,
but boy, when she
okay.
came out with
Before
that
we get off,
macaroni, dog,
okay,
that damn
okay.
macaroni
Before,
was
let me go back.
blazing.
Let
Now
me
hold
go
on,
back.
Pat, you missed that.
Skyrock.
Pat, you
Shut
missed
up.
that, Pat.
Shut up, Skyrock. Shut up. Shut
Pat,
up.
you
We
missed all
going back.
that. That
We're
that
going back to
man.
bad question. I remember this. I've been saving this here. The reason that he is there, Barrett, he is trying to do like the Jordan Love thing. CD Lamb's trying to do like the Jordan Love
Oh,
thing.
we going back. Okay.
I'm here.
Yep.
I'm here.
hold
I'm
on.
not participating, but I want my new contract.
Yeah.
So it ain't like I'm here. I'm in meetings. He in position meetings. He in
So
anything else
so
that is
let me ask you a
non-physical
question
and
though. Let me
non-playing.
ask you a question. If they do
Okay.
not, if CD Lamb does not come to a contract right now, if Jerry says, you know what, we're gonna play with what we got, and CD Lamb does not get offered a contract right now, where do you see what do you see happening with that organization without him being
You know,
um
They
Jerry would cut his nose off to spite his face. CD
no,
Lamb
it's
could
I,
not play.
it
oh
CD
you,
Lamb.
you
If
see
I'm
it they
CD
see
Lamb,
Tony, that's what I'm
because
saying. I'm seeing it that way
but
too.
no, CD Lamb shouldn't play. Because remember, me and Tony had this
Yeah, we had a
conversation.
conversation last week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we had this conversation last week. The brief time I got on, CD Lamb does not have Dak Prescott money to fall back on.
Hmm.
Right. We
Dak,
yeah. I'm with
Dak
So
that.
it's best
Prescott
for him not. It would be
is
best for
best for
without a
him
new contract. It's best
without a
for
new
him.
contract. It's best for him not to play. And the
Yeah.
thing about it is, okay, it's one or two things Dallas go. They got options. They can franchise him. I didn't know.
Nope. That's not an option.
Man,
Yeah,
shut
they
up and
can
use
That's not an
watermelon.
option.
who they can if he sit out this year, skyrocket. They can franchise
Yeah.
him next year.
Yep.
Yeah, but he's not going to set the franchise tag.
He
You got to
okay. He
understand.
don't
You
have no
don't
choice.
have a choice.
He don't have no choice.
Franchise
If
tags are
he
not.
don't, he don't have that in his contract the way he cannot accept the franchise. If he don't accept it, then he just out there.
Yeah.
Hey, is that
He has
watermelon sweet,
nothing.
man? It look good.
Some other ones clean.
You're straight from Eastover Garden.
Oh, there you go.
What
I gotta
garden
get
in
one from
East of?
Charlie Hood Garden. Boy, Charlie
The
Hood. Charlie Hood.
29044. Charlie
Charlie
Hood
Hood.
watermelon was mush.
That's because he over ripened them. He just let him he cooked them too long.
Yeah, he
Mhm.
But,
wasn't there to take the pin to him.
but anyway, okay, I'm with you. I kind of agree with y'all on that. So CD Lamb should sit out, and
Yeah.
then kind of see what
He should.
what
If he
falls
he
in his
should.
lap.
Demon.
Okay, well let me
I would
ask
be
y'all a question.
there.
What do y'all think about Pittsburgh this year? Do y'all see the Steelers even making playoffs? I don't
I
personally,
don't.
but
I do.
Well, no, no,
I
no.
I
Every
I
time I
do.
say it,
because
guess
I
what
do
they
like
do?
still I like Mike Tomlin, but I think this is a defining year for him. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
man, I
Like I
think
think
he's still be.
If Tomlin does not like come through, I think this is
I'm,
that
I'm
year.
gonna give. I'm gonna give Cincinnati and Pittsburgh the most credibility of how you run an organization because what do? They get a good coach and they hold on to him and they ride him out until they can't go no more. Because I still don't know how the hell Marvin Lewis kept a damn job that long at Cincinnati and didn't have that much success. But he wasn't getting
Because
paid. He wasn't getting paid.
But it's Tomlin
But
though. Is Tomlin still
Cincinnati,
a
And
Cincinnati.
Tomlin
No,
has done the work. His body of
But
work.
I'm saying,
I'm
but
gonna
look
tell
at but
you.
given his record though,
What
I
record?
mean, he's over 500 every year. Like every
Yes,
year, he's always over 500. There ain't
always
no
in the playoffs.
ain't no question. He always gets there. But when you can't get past the playoffs, or you can't, come on, what do? Like,
I'm
do
gonna
you
keep going and
you
put the
gonna keep
piece.
riding that horse?
I'm gonna ride that horse. I'm gonna beat that horse to death. I'm winning. I'm going to the playoffs.
I
I'm
got you.
getting
Okay.
that money.
I got
Huh?
you. I got you.
They
I
got
got
they. I ride
So,
them to
so
the
what?
end.
Let me ask you this. So what solidify his coaching? Is it making the playoff or what he does?
Dude,
He don't have a
he
losing
makes
record.
the playoff every year. You
The dude
cannot.
don't have a losing record.
deny
He
that.
He
always
doesn't have a
Always.
losing season. He's
He don't
never
have a
had a
losing
He's
losing
never
season,
had a
Skyrock.
losing season.
so as
You
far as
That's
cannot
why he's
deny
still
that.
A. That's why he's still A.
right,
And
that's what
Jerry
we
That's why
saying.
Jones
he's
But I'm
still
saying
A.
and
though,
Jerry
but he
Jones
get
never
there every
gives
year.
anybody a chance to fail. You can't fail with Jerry. You fail with Jerry. You know.
It ain't even about. If you look at it, it's not even about failing with Jerry. Once you start getting to be bigger than Jerry, Jerry gets rid of you.
Oh, you gotta go. You exactly.
I'm a big Rams fan this year, dog. I ain't gonna lie.
Hey,
You a who
I'm a,
fan?
I'm
y'all
a,
got nothing to lose.
I gotta mess with. I
Yeah.
gotta fuck with the Rams this
The
year. Like, you
Rams,
know what I'm
you know
saying?
why I
Like,
love the
No,
Rams?
no, no,
Look at
as
the
dog.
far
Rams
as
from
being,
last year.
No. You
Look,
need to
look
mess
at
with
the
your
Rams from last
hometown
year.
team.
no.
The
No.
Rams
Yeah,
were not
you
supposed
know, I
to
fuck with
be
Stroud
playing in
and the
Detroit.
Texans. I stay with the Texans. I'm on it, but like the Rams is like that's a secondary team for me. I
Yeah,
fuck
but
with
the
the Rams this
Rams,
year.
you look at the Rams,
I fuck with the Rams
they
this
had
year,
nothing
man.
to lose last year and achieved everything. That was amazing.
Yep.
No,
With the
you
old
know,
ass
no. I
quarterback.
got Tony. I got one better than that. Detroit Lions.
Detroit off the chain too now. Hey,
Detroit had nothing to lose.
I won't.
Ain't nobody
That's the
expect
same
Detroit to do
scenario.
Right.
nothing.
That's the same
That's right.
scenario on that.
No, they was
Yeah,
expecting something out the Rams because the Rams just been to the Super Bowl.
that's right.
Nobody,
They had lost a
nobody.
lot.
Oh, I got you.
But it
Yeah.
but the thing about it is Detroit ain't done nothing. Hell, they ain't really done nothing in 100 years. They ain't done that when Barry Sanders is there. Really, if you go by
Yeah.
actually doing something,
Yeah.
But
Detroit.
Dan, I think the organization and Dan Campbell, they're changing the narrative.
What
The
it
culture.
was,
I think
Dan
the culture
Campbell.
is on the change, on the
Yeah,
move.
the coach. He done changed the coach. What
Yeah,
happened? Dan Campbell in that playoff game, he took too many risks, and it was working for him during the regular season.
yeah.
But this is the playoff. Ain't no
Playoff.
tomorrow.
That's right.
Ain't no tomorrow to come back from. Like
That's
couple
right.
of them times, when he went for it on four, he should have punt or kicked the field goal.
That's right. That's right.
He took too many risks
That's
in a
right.
playoff game. And I
That's
know it
right.
worked for you during the regular season,
Mm.
but in the regular season,
Okay.
you can dress it up. You can say, "Hey, we tried. We going out winners. You
That's
know,
right.
we'll get them next week. Ain't
That's
no
right.
next week. Ain't no
Well,
next week in the playoff."
The Cowboys just sent over a new offer to CeeDee Lamb. He don't want to get as much as who they said. He don't want to
It's a
get the
clause.
35 million like what you call him got, but he
What's
want
the
to be in that
clause?
Like who
neighborhood.
got? Like who got?
Hold on, I can tell you.
Jefferson. Jefferson.
Yeah,
That might be
Jefferson.
my.
Jefferson got 35 million.
Oh, yeah.
He don't
Like,
want the 35 million. He don't want to overdo that. He just want
and
to be
guess
in that
what?
same neighborhood.
And guess what? On another note, Justin got to get half of that away right now, cause this dumb motherfucker done got a gal pregnant.
You better marry.
Oh.
Better marry.
No,
Better marry.
the girl done come out and say he tried to force her to have an abortion. He done. Money
Now
wise,
what he need to do?
she got it.
He need to
She
do.
got it.
I need to put everything in my mama name. That.
No, it's too late now. She pregnant. It's too late now.
I tell you, if you're doing a fantasy league, you call me crazy. I think the quarterback who's underrated and who has the age and he has the background to probably achieve something
Oh, you
this year,
better not
Black and
say.
white.
it's gonna be Bo Nix.
Got no what?
Oh,
It's gonna be Bo Nix, bro. And you might as
No,
well put Jefferson on your fantasy league. It's coming.
if yeah, but no, the thing about it is, and this the quarterback I'm gonna draft. He may not be my starter, but if he's there, my backup. If he gets the starting job, whoever gets the starting job in Pittsburgh, I'm gonna roll with him as my backup quarterback in fantasy. Because if you go
really?
back and check, yeah, go back, check their stats, check Russell Wilson's numbers.
He did good.
He did good. He didn't
He
do
But
the
did
hold
good
thing.
on
last.
now, because but is Russell
Check,
Wilson playing
check,
second string
check.
right now?
That's
You know
what
what
I'm
I'm saying?
saying.
Like,
We
If
don't
you
know
look at
yet.
is he?
Justin, if
Don't
you
know
look
yet.
at Justin Field numbers, if you look at Justin Field numbers, they
I
were
need to pay these
he
shits for
was
real.
he was third.
Yeah,
He
he
was
wasn't that bad.
he wasn't that bad.
Wasn't
But
that bad.
okay, the thing about it is, it's the same problem with Skyrocket and the Cowboys. They defense. Denver defense wasn't hitting on shit. The coach didn't want Russell
That's right.
Wilson, so he wasn't putting
That's
Russell
right.
in a position to win. Same thing in
That's right.
Chicago. Chicago
That's
didn't
right.
want Justin Fields because
That's
they
right.
knew as long as Carolina kept losing, they knew they was gonna have the number
Caleb
one
Williams.
pick.
Yeah.
So as
Okay, well, hold
Carolina
on.
kept losing,
Oh,
what?
go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
As
Go ahead. Go ahead.
because
Go ahead.
remember Carolina traded their number one pick this year
Mm-hmm.
to Chicago. That's the only reason Chicago had the number one pick because
Yeah.
of Carolina being so sorry.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
as soon as when Chicago saw Carolina kept losing,
Yeah.
they knew they was gonna get that number one pick.
Yeah.
So they just didn't give Justin Fields no help, no nothing,
Mm-hmm.
because they knew, okay, we got the number one pick. We want Caleb Williams. And
Mm-hmm.
to me, Caleb Williams ain't showed me shit.
He ain't did nothing. Not even in college, he didn't do nothing.
No.
Utah beat him every year.
The thing about it is,
Look it up.
everybody hyping up Caleb Williams.
Look
Caleb
it up.
Williams,
Utah
dude,
destroyed his ass every year.
when
Sent him in the stands crying to his mama.
thank you.
He ain't showed me
Dog,
shit.
I ain't saying the man ain't gonna be good.
I
He
ain't saying
could
he
get in
ain't
the
doing
pros,
it. Yeah,
but
but
based on college, based on college,
he
to
showed me
me, I would have
nothing.
picked Penix, to tell you the truth.
Yes. Yep.
Penix had a better college career than Caleb
Better
Williams.
arm. I think better arm strength.
If you
He
was
got
just
better
going
arm.
by, but see, they going. Caleb Williams fits the mold of the old NFL thing. He's 6 something foot. He tall in the pocket. He mobile, because they want mobility now. But he got the height, the build, and the weight.
I would tell you why I wouldn't have picked Penix. I do like him, but y'all do know he done blew out both his knees.
He done blew out both of these, but in them
He bone
games,
on bone. And he bone on bone in
yeah,
one of them knees.
they got that stuff now. You can shoot in between.
Dude,
They got that stuff now.
they
They
got
got
that.
that stuff now.
They
Hey,
got that
and
so that
Vince
they got that
cocaine.
sofa cushion.
Yeah,
That
they got.
sofa
Hey,
They,
cushion is
and
still
he
you
hit
can
there.
a
shoot
couple
that
of them
thing.
drugs.
You
Boy,
can
clock.
shoot that. You can shoot a pillar. You can shoot a pillar in
You can
between
shoot
them.
that pillow in there.
Yeah.
You know, I think you say the same thing. You know, just like with Washington Commanders, you stupid because you gave away. You had a quarterback last year. Yeah, he threw some interceptions because hell, you ain't surrounded him with nothing, and you gave away the team because you knew you were going to have a good shot at getting a good quarterback. Why would you give up Sam Howell? Sam Howell got a rocket arm. Rocket
Okay.
arm. Yeah,
Yeah.
he threw interceptions, but he was exciting to watch when he was playing with the Commanders last year.
But the thing about it is, because my thing about it is, and I'm not saying this because I'm biased, you know, but how they did
You
Florida State.
biased.
No, but think about it. If Jordan Travis made the team, then why Jordan Travis wasn't big higher? Going by what the playoff committee said, Jordan Travis made Florida State. Florida State was undefeated. They beat LSU. So why Jordan Travis? Jordan Travis was never high in the Heisman voting all year. Don't blame it talking about, you know, oh, he got hurt that's why he didn't win it. He was never a top, contender the whole season. But then when he got hurt, oh, Florida State ain't the same team without him. So if you lose one man, then that telling me he should have been the best player in college football. Then
Yeah.
He should have been, but he wasn't.
yeah, but then y'all reasoning for leaving Florida State out was a lie. Then
Oh yeah, we all know that was a conspiracy theory.
yeah,
We know that.
No, they was gonna make sure Alabama was gonna get in there.
no, they really they made sure Alabama got in there because Georgia lost. If Georgia was the thing for
Georgia should have been there.
yeah,
But
if Georgia had to beat Alabama, Nick Saban would have just rolled off in the dark, and that's it. It wouldn't have never been no Nick Saban Harbaugh, and then Harbaugh beat him. Nick Saban, and it was a close game. So basically, Nick Saban got out coached. You got out coached.
Yeah, he got out coach. He got out coach. But everybody know it was a travesty that Florida State didn't make it. Everybody thought. Matter of fact, I'll tell you what happened. The day they released the final polls, we had a UBA tour stop. And when they came in, I think we was in Anderson. When they came in and was like, man, did y'all hear the news? The top four was out. What blah, 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 blah. And everybody was like, if Florida State didn't make it in, everybody was like, man, that's bullshit.
But I knew Florida State. I sit there and watched it. When Texas got the third spot, I knew Florida State wasn't going to get in. Because how you going to put a one-loss team ahead of an undefeated team?
But then they said they didn't play nobody. That was their backfall. Florida State didn't play nobody.
They played their record. Skyrocket.
Right, they record.
Skyrocket. No,
I'm saying what they said.
But hey, Rock, I kind of feel you. I kind of feel you on that too, though. I kind of feel you on that because that ain't the first time that's happened.
No,
because I think they had like the
first
Wisconsin Beavers or something like that. Not Wisconsin. Who the Beavers were?
Bad,
I remember it was the same scenario.
No, it wasn't. It was.
I'm listening.
It has never been a unbeaten Power 5 team since they started this that 14 playoff system that didn't get in.
Okay, all right.
If you were undefeated and won your conference as a Power 5 school, you always got in.
Okay.
Go back and look. Go back and look at it. It has never been an undefeated Power 5 school that won their conference that didn't get in that 14 playoff.
Okay. That's something I got to research. Tony, wake up over there.
Yeah, I was looking up. I was looking up something.
Until Tony deep in that phone, like I was.
Hey, I was looking up something.
I ain't gonna lie. I'm looking it up.
So everybody who made the playoff were conference champions, except for they basically the Power 5. They screwed over. The Power 5, all 5 of them couldn't make it.
Yeah, all 5 of them couldn't make it.
Yeah, 5 conference champions, and all of them couldn't make it. Only 4 could make it, and because Florida State lost their quarterback.
Yeah, they didn't lose the game.
Oh, okay.
They lost their quarterback.
But no, you had 2 one-loss teams that were in. Texas had a loss. Alabama had a loss.
But they was conference champs.
Yeah, but they had a loss. Go look it up. No
champions.
Yeah, but no undefeated conference champion has ever been left
out. Okay, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
No undefeated conference champion has been left out.
But if you're sitting on, but like you say, if I'm sitting on the competition,
100% right. That's right.
If I'm sitting on the competition committee and I'm saying that Florida State losing their quarterback, he is one of the major reasons why they made it to where they were.
So
he's the best.
Okay. So
and he's not there.
If he's
the
best, but no, if he's the best, why he wasn't higher in the Heisman voting then?
Well, because he didn't have the numbers. He didn't need the numbers. I mean,
but
a lot of times because of your presence and your leadership.
It's been less numbers. It's been less numbers that have won the Heisman than what he had. And then you throw in his leadership that they saying without him, Florida State, y'all ain't nothing. You throw in his leadership with the numbers he had, he was a viable Heisman candidate.
I
He
would
didn't
say
even
so.
get invited. And
Yeah,
the thing about it, he didn't even get invited to New
I
York.
would, I would say so. I still say it's a travesty that it happened. Well, there's no excuses this year. 12 teams in. Ain't no
Yep.
excuses this year.
No excuses. 12
No,
kids.
ain't no
in.
excuses.
12
No,
teams.
12 teams. Ain't no excuse.
12 teams. No excuses.
Yeah.
No excuses. But I would say, I think the Power Five, I think the SEC is going to go down nothing but downhill after this. I don't think SEC is going to be what it was before.
Oh no, Georgia ain't going. Right now, Georgia ain't going away.
Well, no, I'm just not even with Georgia. I'm just talking about with the inclusion. Texas should have never been Texas and Oklahoma and who is it? Texas A&M.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Texas A&M.
Texas and Oklahoma.
Yep.
And Texas A&M. I'm sorry, but they don't belong in the SEC. I'm against that.
I ain't mad at you, Tony, for that. Just because I'm in Texas, because you try to say it like
But no,
I'm
because
mad
Texas ruined their conference. Texas ruined their own conference.
Yeah, I know.
Because why? They didn't want to share money. They said, I don't have to share money with anybody. This is my network.
But no, see,
Yeah,
Texas didn't ruin their conference. Texas was smart enough to realize we're big enough we can have our very own network. They was the only one to realize. So you look at it, the other they got the conference network. Texas will say, hold on, we big enough we can have our own.
Well, Texas
The
ain't
one who should have realized,
ain't no threat in the SEC though. So
but no,
it don't matter.
the one who
Ain't no-
should have
there ain't no
realized that.
They ain't no
The
real
one who
threat.
should have realized that, but listen to me now. The one who
Yeah.
should have realized that before Texas, who
Well,
was big
Baylor.
enough to have their
Baylor.
own? No. Who was big enough to have their own networks?
Notre Dame.
Thank you. But
Bro,
all Notre Dame
Notre
did was
Dame
sign
done
that
been a major.
NBC
Notre
contract.
Dame done been a major.
Notre
independent
Dame
since I
is
was little.
Notre Dame is prestigious, historic, however you want to put it. They just
It's just
right
garbage.
there. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Even
It
though
don't matter.
Alabama
It
got
don't
all
matter.
the- even though
Hey,
Alabama
it don't
got
matter.
all
It
the
don't matter
titles
about
and
them.
everything, Notre Dame
It
is
don't matter. It don't matter about them being garbage.
Notre,
They still was big enough to have
they
their
big
own
enough.
network
Yeah,
first
Yeah.
yeah.
before Texas. But they
Yeah.
signed that NBC deal for football, and they was happy with that.
Yep.
When they didn't realize we
for
can have our own
except for
network.
football.
Yeah,
The what?
but no, that's what I'm saying. They in the ACC and everything except for football because they don't want to
What
share
football?
that.
They would never. They never tied their They never tied their football team to a conference. They always
Because they
say
don't want to share. They don't want to
share the
share
money.
that. They don't want to share that NBC
I don't have
TV
that's right.
contract.
I don't have to share my deal, my TV deal with nobody.
Yeah, and I don't have to
The
share
same
my
thing
bowl
with
money.
Texas.
When
Texas say I'm coming to SEC. I don't have to share with y'all.
For real,
No.
yeah, for real. Yeah.
Hey, and are they a threat to the SEC? Is
Not at all. Not at all.
Yeah, they are.
Y'all
Yeah,
Not
breed,
at all.
Yeah, they
y'all
are.
breed
Not at all.
football players in Texas and shit.
Not
You
at
can go
all.
big, hey, y'all plant seeds and
Hey.
18 years from now, that
That-
seed goes a
But
football.
hold on. No, there's no way that y'all can say that Texas, any Texas team, even if it's Texas A&M, ain't no damn way y'all can tell me that they're a threat to the SEC right now.
I say
They are. Texas
I
is.
say they are.
Yeah,
Texas is.
Because-
Texas A&M ain't.
No, without Nick Saban.
that's what I'm saying.
I don't give a damn
A&M
what
is
y'all
not a
say.
threat.
What y'all say? Nick
A&M.
Saban is responsible for at least 4 wins of Alabama football every year. He responsible for 4 of the wins, even though he ain't out there in pass. Him as a coach, 4 wins.
Come on.
Alabama is not gonna be that dog this year. It's gonna be a down year for him.
No, because that coach.
Ooh, roll tide, man.
Done.
I'm peeing, man.
Done.
The reason Alabama gonna struggle this year is that coach. He's not used to SEC defense.
That's right. He ain't
He
ready
not
for it.
used to. He not ready. He had never seen. He seen little snippets of it and 1 or 2, but he ain't seen it week in and week out. And the reason Texas is gonna be a problem. Texas is a threat. Texas is a threat. Texas A&M ain't no threat. Texas is a threat
Texas
to
is.
the SEC
Yeah.
because the fact
Oh, you
of
talking about Texas Longhorns?
yes, the Longhorns are a threat.
Y'all talking about the
Oklahoma,
Longhorns?
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
school,
No, we're talking about the Shorthorns. The Shorthorns.
your school Barrett is not a threat this year.
Who that? A&M?
A&M.
No, Oklahoma.
A&M is not a
Oklahoma.
threat.
No,
Well,
Oklahoma.
Oh, Oklahoma.
no.
You know, that's
I think y'all got a running back.
that's
who
my
could
sister
potentially-
alma mater right there.
I
Now,
think
so
I think your running
But-
back.
but ever
I think
since
your
your
running
sis-
back potentially
Ever
could
since your
win the
sister
Heisman
went
Trophy.
there, you've been cheering for Oklahoma. Ever since
No,
your
I
every
think
year.
Texas A&M running back could potentially win the Heisman Trophy this year. Seriously,
Look here,
he
stop.
potentially can.
Tony, stop doing
Huh? Yeah, seriously.
No, Tony, stop doing
Yeah, okay.
No, listen to me, Tony.
Yeah.
Look
Okay.
at it.
Yeah.
No, Tony.
Okay.
No cap. Tony, look at
Huh?
it. The Heisman became a quarterback because of how the NFL don't work with quarterbacks.
Oh, yeah, I got you.
It became a quarterback award.
Yeah, I got you. That's true.
For 3,000
Demon.
yards.
Demon.
Yeah,
Yes.
a running back
I
would have
do
to
not
rush
like
for
what you put on my
3,000
tag.
What?
You just
I
saw
like
that?
that.
Oh,
No, I
T-Way
saw it a
Electric.
while ago.
What, T-Way Electric?
No,
0
he
to
put
30
I'm 0-30 in NFL.
0 to 30 in NCAA football. He done put some shit on all of us.
I know, man.
He done put some shit on all of us.
What? Hey,
Let me get your shirt. But
Hey.
Hey, man,
a running back would have to rush for 3,000 yards to win the Heisman Trophy.
that ain't gonna happen to no.
No, it's not
Not a
gonna-
running back's game anymore, man.
They done turned it into a quarterback award.
It's not a running back's game anymore, dog.
No.
I know. Isn't it a trip how the running backs have become irrelevant now?
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
You remember running backs? Oh, yeah, it's all about the running.
But no,
Number
We need
one.
that 3. We need that 2 yards. We need that.
But no, they
It's
still
fucking
relevant.
now.
They still relevant to a certain extent in college. You know, they just want you to be more versatile in college. They want you to be able to catch out the backfield.
Yeah, they want the running backs that got receiver hands.
Yeah, but the thing about it in the NFL, they ain't getting paid nothing.
Nothing.
Shit, if I was
gonna be the last.
Hell, if I was gonna be
running back
running
to
down
get a
on
big
something, I'd be running tight ends like that. Well, I want the best tight end I can find. Shit. If
It's,
I'm gonna
it's
run
both
like that,
positions.
I
It's
want
both
that
positions.
tight end that can
If you
that's
look
got
at it.
hands like what's the name? God,
Kelsey.
man, I can't. Yeah, like Kelsey, like Travis Kelsey.
Yeah.
Look here, don't pick Kelsey on your fantasy team this year.
Pick that boy in Detroit.
No, yeah.
Get that boy out of
Don't
Detroit.
pick Kelsey. If you ain't fantasy, don't pick Kelsey on your fantasy team this year. His numbers going down. If you look at the last 3 years, his numbers going down every year. He's getting older.
Mahomes got him. He need him. Mahomes need him this year.
But he don't need him.
Mahomes need him this year. It's too much pressure on. It's too much pressure on
He
Kansas City right now,
He
dog.
need him. He need
Is
him.
his
but
numbers
he don't
going down
need him.
because Taylor draining him now?
He don't need him like he used to, man. That's the thing about it. I needed you at one point. I don't need you like I used to.
I think Taylor is draining that man every day.
Giving them the witch's brew.
No, he ain't been messing with Taylor for 3 years. But you look at it, the thing about it is age catches up with everybody.
Yeah, but still though, look at Witten. Witten was able to stay in there and do his thing for how long? When you talk about
Jason
age,
Witten. Jason Witten's a freak of nature.
Didn't he
leave?
Look at Gronk.
like Gronkowski, like you say, like Gronkowski. So I mean, you just had some of the baddest tight ends that were able to stay in the game for a long time, man.
I'm not saying that bad, but he doesn't seem like, because his numbers is going down, his numbers is sliding down. You gotta watch the numbers. You gotta watch the numbers. And the thing about it is, he is not what is considered a protected player. Wide receivers get hit. Going over the middle, throw a flag.
Mm-hmm.
Tight ends are big dudes. Officials are not throwing no flag. Tight ends take a lot of unnecessary hits.
Yeah, they tight ends.
That's what I'm saying. They tight ends.
So they got the block and everything.
But the thing about it is they're not what is considered protected players. Right now, the two most protected
Just
players in the
receivers
NFL,
and
receivers
quarterbacks.
and quarterbacks.
That's
Receivers and
it.
quarterbacks
The
are the
only
most
two protected
protected players.
positions right there.
Yeah, yeah.
But I mean,
So
but either way, but I'm saying, but if you look at the longevity of just a few guys that we've named, though,
yeah,
them
those are
guys were
few.
able to take the hits. They were able
It's
to catch
always
the ball and still,
Barrett.
you know what I'm
It's
saying? And
always
still,
outliners. Is he going? The thing about it is you rolling the dice to say is he gonna be one of those outliners?
because they
It's
lasted
always
longer.
outliners.
They last longer than a lot of the running backs in there. A lot of the running backs were
Yeah.
hurt
Oh
before the
yeah.
tight ends were hit
Because
because the tight ends
because the
were
thing
so
about
far
it
down
is
your check downs. You know, they were so far down your
yeah.
check down sometimes that, you know what I'm saying? It was like, well, shit, that's your last option. You know what I
But
mean?
okay, Barrett, think about it. A running back, whether he got the ball or not, gets hit on every play.
Oh
Because
yeah, yeah,
if you are not getting the ball, but you still in the game and it's a pass play, now you got a pass block.
yeah. You still in it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
You
you
still
still
making
getting
that
hit. That's what
contact
I'm
is still
saying.
there. Yeah,
Yeah, you still
Yeah.
getting hit on every play. Tight ends don't get hit on every play. Huh?
I agree with you on that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Now,
So
that's why I believe their longevity is better.
they longevity better than a running
Longevity.
back, but their
Yeah.
Okay,
longevity is not better.
okay.
Their longevity is not better than a wide receiver.
Listen.
No. Yeah, I got you on that.
So
Yeah.
listen.
No, I
In,
ain't.
in
Yeah, I
our
ain't.
talking, in our talking this week, Show brought up a question to me. If Michael Jordan is the said GOAT of basketball, who is the GOAT of the NFL? And how would you determine who the GOAT is in the NFL? Would
Tom
you go?
Brady, dude. This no
Tom
question.
Brady.
No
Okay,
question.
No,
is Tom Brady?
no,
Okay,
Tom
is
Brady.
Tom Brady?
no,
Let me take it over,
no.
Skyrock.
Tom Brady.
Is Tom
Okay, go
Brady
ahead.
the GOAT? Is Tom Brady the GOAT, or is Tom Brady the greatest quarterback?
He's the
I gotta give him.
I
He's
think
the greatest quarterback of all times. So
greatest
that makes
quarterback
him
ever.
GOAT.
Yeah.
He's got
So
more
see, that's
rings
what I'm
than
saying.
anybody else.
Okay, he
He's,
got more.
he's
Yeah,
on
he
he's
got.
on Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, he owned the Mount Rushmore. But what I'm saying, so you wouldn't say Lawrence Taylor, Deion Sanders, where
Nope.
they was able to shut down, take over a game, and everything
What
like
about
that.
Earl Campbell? Come on
No,
now.
I ain't talking about Earl Campbell. I'm talking about when you talk about goats, you talk about either Deion
Let's
Sanders.
talk
Deion
about
Sanders shut
championships. Let's
down
talk
side of the
about
field.
rings. Let's talk about championships and rings.
No,
So,
see, there you go right there.
what your contribution
Championships and
is?
rings. Okay,
What your
so
contribution is? In that.
championships. Okay, championships and rings. If you bring in championships and rings, then Michael Jordan is not the GOAT of basketball.
Okay.
No, he wouldn't be because of
Bill, hell,
Bill
you
Russell.
don't even got to go. But
Bill
Tony,
Bill
Russell.
Russell.
Tony, take it back.
Huh?
You don't even got to go. You don't even got to go to Bill Russell.
Okay.
Robert
Well,
Horry got more rings than
well,
Michael
oh,
Jordan.
well, let's
Robert
look at it
Horry.
this way.
Robert
Let's
Horry
look
got
at it this
7
way.
rings.
Well, let's look
Yeah.
at it this way. Look, it's
Big shot Bob.
because we can't. There's no way we can even. There's no way we can use the same terminology for best basketball player being the GOAT as the same football
That's what I
player
said.
because
That's what I
it's
said.
too many different positions that do
That's
too
what I
much.
said.
I might, you know what I'm saying, think that there's a position that secured Tom Brady all those, you know, those rings too. So I
Who we
mean,
missing?
so if we talk about positions, then we could probably put this in a better perspective. So I think
Best
that
defensive player ever, Lawrence Taylor,
so,
because he
you know what I'm
changed
saying?
the
So I
game.
can roll with
No,
something. You know what
Ray
I mean?
Lewis. You got
Ray
to say
Lewis.
Ray
I
Ray.
can- yeah.
Ray Ray.
Okay, so see,
You
there
got
you
to say
go.
Ray Ray.
So we
Well,
got
at
to
linebacker,
football
yeah.
into those.
Defensive
We gotta
end,
split
defense,
that up.
I gave that back to you.
Ray Ray.
We gotta
What?
split that up, man.
What?
Best
You
defense.
got to. Best defensive end is who?
Oh,
Best
there you go.
defensive player, period. Ray Ray.
Who?
Ray
Ray
Lewis.
Ray.
Are you smoking dope?
Ray Lewis.
You
was the
didn't
best.
watch Lawrence Taylor when you was
Lawrence
a child?
Taylor was just nasty.
Lawrence
Man, I
Taylor was
used to
just.
watch. I didn't even
Lawrence
He
understand
was-
football, and that dude used to break people in two.
You know how coked
Yeah.
up Lawrence Taylor was to make
It
these
don't.
hits?
It don't. It don't matter. It don't matter. It don't
But I'm
matter.
just saying, he was
Yeah.
already on top of the world with his, man. But I like
you
Ray
ask-
Lewis.
if you
That
ask
was a
Lawrence
fucking
Taylor,
animal to
I
watch.
do
listen,
like
if
Ray
you
Lewis.
ask Lawrence
on
Taylor
his,
right now who the best defensive player is, he wouldn't say himself.
Who?
Yeah, he would. Yeah, he
No, he
would.
wouldn't.
Who?
No, he
Yeah,
wouldn't.
he done
No, he
said,
wouldn't.
Skyrocket.
Who?
Go on YouTube and look at some Lawrence Taylor videos. He done said he's the
Oh,
biggest.
he done said he the greatest.
I'm
Yeah.
going on there
He
right
done,
now.
Oh, go
okay,
look.
go
He'll
ahead.
tell you he the greatest. He the greatest.
Oh, let me go get my last beer. I'll be back in a second. Let me go get my last beer.
Great, he the greatest. What are you talking about? Best
Look
cornerback
here.
they ever played.
Dion.
Say Dion.
The best cornerback.
Best
Yeah.
cornerback. You
Best
say
safety.
Dion.
Best safety.
Best
Ed
safety.
Reed.
I say
Ed
Dion.
Reed or Troy Polamalu.
I say, listen, I say Dion,
Well,
but
what about
Ronnie Lott was
what
a
about
close
Lynch?
second.
What about
Ronnie Lott was not a corner. Ronnie Lott was
what
not a
about
corner,
Lynch?
Skyrocket.
What about the safety from
Ronnie Lott was not a corner. Ronnie Lott was a safety.
you said the best safety to ever play the game?
Yeah.
Oh, he said.
You
Oh,
got
he
Lott,
said.
you got Lynch, you got
Ed
the
Reed.
dude from Romanowski, Bill Romanowski.
Bill
Nasty.
Romanowski was a linebacker.
He was a linebacker? Okay, then.
Yeah.
I thought he was a safety. All right.
No.
Polamalu, what was he? Safety?
Polamalu
Linebacker.
was a safety.
Safety.
But he came up. He came
Now,
up and blitzed.
Polamalu,
He came up a lot. But you
Yeah.
know what?
What about the biggest flop? The biggest flop.
Let's not talk about that.
The biggest flop on the defensive side.
Let's not
Y'all
talk.
remember how everybody thought the
Anybody on the Cowboys?
Because I thought Andre Bruce, who got drafted to Atlanta, I thought he was gonna be that because he was a beast. Ended up being nuts.
He was a beast in college. Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
Well, look at man, I'm finna jump off here, y'all. I'll holler at y'all next week. We're gonna talk about this next week.
Hey, show. That sun is down. Is what 10 o'clock?
See that I'm talking about? It's 9:40.
Boy, 9:45. I'm sleeping. Hey, and I
Know what
gotta
I'm saying?
watch House of Dragons before I go to bed. I'm gonna be my eyes. Be
Oh, that ain't all you got to do before you go to bed.
Oh no, I can't do it tonight. I got 2 dogs I gotta feed.
We're gonna change that to 0-31 tonight.
I got 2 dogs I still got. They sitting over there looking at me crazy right now.
Hey, I'll holler at y'all tomorrow. Tell Dad I'll holler at you.
All right, man.
All right, y'all. Listen, while everybody's getting out, let me go ahead and close out the stream. Listen, this is the fellas, and you know what we do every week. We have barbershop talk. We talk about different things. As you can see, today we talked about the business in the church. We talked about some sports, talked about Olympics. We cover everything. If you feel that you want to be a part of the podcast, just stay tuned. We have the list. We have the link posted on our Facebook page every week. Just click in. You come on and voice your opinion. We do not shoot you down for your opinion. We value everybody's opinion. We treat everybody as equal here on this podcast of the fellas.
What happened?
We signing off. So with that being said, Show already did his final closing. Tony, you got something you want to say?
Oh no, I'm looking forward to next week's conversation. I thought this week was really good. I think we should. Oh man, I tell you, seems like the past 3 times I've been with you guys, it seems like it's good. It's like okay, like we should have more guests, a different topic with another guest on. Because I believe with Miss Satrina, I think we probably missed the opportunity to, we were talking about we had great topics to talk about, and we made some really good statements tonight. But she has a wealth of knowledge that I believe we could have her back, target her for specific stuff. And we should have, you should have more guests like that. Professional people come in and, who are professional in their field, come in and speak and,
Well, you're a professional.
Huh?
I said, well, you're a professional in your field. Shoot.
Well, shoot, man. I just, this is what I do. A lot of people don't consider what we do professional.
Nah, man, because we the birth of life, man. We give you what you need. You need power, you need water, you need, understand? That's the real professionals. There's people that can't overlook that.
That's
and
right.
Your house is dark.
Oh, we make it. We part of the infrastructure. We
you
are
need
part of the infrastructure
this
that
fired up.
makes.
You need to call somebody. If your ass, I know this, your ass had no water.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what the true. Those are true professionals, man. The titles don't mean anything when it come down to the know-how.
Oh yeah. Because hey, if government fall, you still got to have people to make it keep it going. But I look forward to next week's topic.
Got to keep it going.
That's right. Y'all gonna post what next week's topic
Well,
gonna be?
we'll discuss it though, because we discuss it though. We'll discuss it. We'll see, because we don't know who's gonna come on with a guest. You know, so it depends on what who come on with a guest.
We might can
like
get
anybody.
on board from Backstreet. We might can get on board from Backstreet Barbecue to come on and talk about his barbecue and why he think his barbecue so good. That Backstreet Barbecue.
I'm with it all. We'll talk barbecue. We talking all, man. That's what I'm saying. There ain't no topic we won't touch.
Oh, especially that barbecue, man. That's that's a topic that when the last time y'all did that topic?
Barbecue. We ain't did it yet. We ain't did it yet. That's the subject we didn't want to touch since all this was on the grill.
That's a subject that's so deep, dog. That subject is so deep because we cook. Like we, you know what I'm saying? Everybody that barbecue, it's the brothers in here now. They cook.
Man.
So that's that topic, man. So that's deep.
So so go ahead, closing remarks.
Oh, closing remarks, man. Hey, thank everybody for coming on, man. We had a great time tonight. We're gonna continue to do this. We're gonna keep this open. Anybody that wants to get in can get in. We'll flash the link every now and then throughout the chat, man, so y'all can invite others or whatever, man. We're gonna have a good time. It's open talk, barbershop talk. We want to reach out to the community, man. All communities, not just the they call them underserved, which they gave the new black term, the underserved, but we want to reach out to all communities and everybody else, man. And we just want to have a good time, man, because we really want to touch base with everybody to see where everybody heads at. And this is what we do right here, man. Thanks for everybody coming out, and we appreciate y'all for being on.
All right. Well, first I got to say, whoever made the watermelon that we got,
it's sweet, dog.
What you talking about? But listen, I'll be amiss if I didn't mention one of our mothers, Barrett, the passing of Miss Sarah. Livingston, one of the mother of one of the founder members of Heaven Bound.
Heaven Bound, dog. Heaven Bound.
That singing gospel group we had back in the day.
We didn't go wood, buddy, but we did our thing.
We didn't go wood, but we did go out to eat.
We did go out to eat.
Rest in peace. Rest in heaven.
Miss Sarah
with her son. She's reunited with her son now, and I know they're watching down on her. I have to say that.
Hey, and but then, Timothy, man, if Timothy listening right now too, I know he ain't listening right now, but Timothy, if you get a hold of this broadcast, man, brother, we love you. We try to get in contact with you, man. But hey, bro, we so sorry, man, and our condolences, man. We love you, and we love your mom, man, and we're so sorry about that.
Yeah, and then also we'd like to invite everybody back next week. We'll be back in 6 days and 22 hours because we owe 23 hours because we way over. But come on out. Like I said, stay on our Facebook pages. You'll see the links. Just click in and come on in and feel free to join in the conversation. This is the fellas, formerly Bout Night Pizza Lines, but this is the fellas. This is what we do. We have barbershop style talk. Come on in. We don't shoot you down for your opinion, and we welcome your opinion. Next week we will be unveiling a new layout. We will have a new layout we're unveiling, and we have a potential sponsor coming. Starting where he's going to pay us 2 cents an episode. So
we passed the 1 cent. We 2 cents.
Yeah.
We moving on up like Georgia Wheezy, dog. We Georgia Wheezy.
Well, I mean, hey, listen. If I can get One Way Electrical on your webpage, we will give you some sponsorship.
That sounds like two. That sounds like 2.5.
We'll give more than 2 cents. Hey, I'll give you enough to buy some 40s.
No, hey, Tony, you in there, man? You in there? But honestly, for real, Tony, for real, man.
Yeah,
bro,
we sponsor,
real, man. Put your for real, man.
Yeah.
You are now officially one of our sponsors. Shouts out, because for real, bro.
See,
I mean, just
Yeah.
get in there, because I might need a job when I come down to Carolina, bro.
Oh shoot,
You know what I'm saying? So,
you and I gonna you come me, you and I gonna be working together.
so, bro, let's get it going, bro. But that's
Hey,
what's up, bro.
hey, I ain't got no, we got some people who will dig some ditches now.
Hey, Tony,
well
you
need
know
a
we
little
got
bit
the
of
equipment to
electricity
do
to
everything
it.
out of my daddy house, bro. We
Oh,
good,
yeah.
bro. We do it all. We do
Oh,
it
yeah.
all, bro.
We come
You know what
together.
I said?
Huh?
I say every well need a little bit of electricity to run to.
Every well got to
Every
be
well need
needs
electricity,
electricity, man.
That's right.
Yeah, so but
But
yeah,
but
once
that's how
again,
we
we'd like
gonna
to thank
talk, though, Tony. Me and you gonna talk, though, man. When I
Oh
get
yeah,
back
oh, yeah.
down there,
We'll make
so.
it
we'd
happen.
like to thank everybody for
Yeah.
coming out. We'll see y'all next week.
All right,
Peace.
All
man.
right, man.
Thank you.
Peace out, y'all.
All right.